All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to my little documentation slash live stream of how I started being a freelance artist and the steps I took and just an entire amount of information that I have loaded for you guys on top of places you can go to make your product, websites that you can go to sell your work, information that you might need to start documenting for taxes, your receipts, what to start putting up there, social media broadcasting, confidence, and even the nitty-gritty of like, what should I do if I'm failing? And I'm going to go over a whole lot of stuff there and try to keep you guys at least in the know-how. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to give you guys as much information as I possibly can. So let's get into it because there's a whole lot. And by the way, I'm not going to be able to look at chat too much while I'm doing this up front. But I will do my best. But that being said, it's kind of a lot of stuff going on all at once. So I'm going to do more of questions. So if you guys have questions, try to save them for the end of my presentation. But there's a lot of stuff. I have 10 pages worth of information here. A lot of it is websites. But yeah, let's get into this, okay? So, now, first off, disclaimer. I am not a licensed financial advice professional, okay? I'm only telling you guys the information that I have collected over the last 4-year journey that I have done of being a full-time freelance artist. Like, the day that I stopped going to work at GameStop, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to stream full time, I'm going to take commissions, and this is what I'm going to do. This is just information that I have collected together, okay? So, it changes constantly. My word is not the end-all be-all way of doing that. Like, there's a ton of different ways, so I highly recommend finding information from all other artists, okay? Always expand your knowledge and your information as much as you possibly can because there's always new things to learn out there. And this world of digital information is constantly changing. Like what? We got live streaming recently, and the amount of broadcasting services that we have now has expanded in just the last couple years. Literally in the last like 3-4 years, we have seen so many more things pop up. My job of me doing what I'm doing right now popped up from under my feet because Twitch suddenly became a thing and streaming became a thing and putting your stuff on YouTube and stuff like, and being able to do that to show your work and also be able to make work online came up out of nowhere, okay? So just keep that in mind. Always keep expanding your knowledge and know that I am not the end all be all and I am not I'm not a licensed financial advice person, okay? I'm just giving you guys information that I can. So that being said, disclaimer out of the way. So the first thing is, well, how do I get started with freelance art? Or anything for that matter. I mean, this is in general, I'm going off of a creative stream and creative process. But if you guys do coding, anything else like that, please like keep in mind that this is kind of open for everybody and what you guys can kind of do and play off of that too, okay? So the first thing is, you're probably going to need a portfolio. Freelance or not, you'll likely need this. And this is for studio work, anything. Like, to be able to get your work out there, you're probably going to need a portfolio. And you can actually make one really easy and for free on a pretty nice websites now. So some of the places that I'm going to show you guys is 2 places that I know and have used before that make free websites, and then you can actually buy your domain name up front. You'll usually want to keep your domain name to something easy and something that you're gonna like name yourself for here on out. So accidentally, I broadcasted myself as RinTheYordle, but that is my name that I've always been known as, and my artist name is Rin. My real name is Camille, but everyone knows me as Rin. You want to go by something and have that same name everywhere so that people can find you easily, okay? And your portfolio should also be a part of that. So what I'm going to show here is the first website that you guys can make for free, and actually what I have my website on currently is Weebly.com. They allow you to do a free website. You don't have to do anything special for it. They get to put their branding like on the bottom corner, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. And then you can buy a domain name for very cheap afterwards. I believe I'm spending, I need to look at my thing again, but it's like $30 for $40 for the year or something like that. It's really not that bad for an entire year of just having RinTheYordle.com. That's it. But I built my website and my portfolio for free on Weebly. There's another one that you guys can build as well, called Wix. I haven't used this one specifically, but it works a lot the same way, and they have templates as well, too. Both of these websites go with templates, so you don't have to know any web coding. You don't have to know HTML and CSS. So if you're not knowledgeable in that, you can work without that for sure. You can definitely work without that. So don't worry. Yes, WordPress is also another one. Thank you, Puppy Chew. I have heard of that one before, but I think you need a little bit more coding with WordPress, but they might have changed since then. I know in the past, a lot of people used WordPress, and I have not used too much before. If you guys do know a little bit of HTML and CSS, you guys actually can. Not really, unless you want your own theme. Oh, okay, that's cool. It's basically like Tumblr. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know WordPress had changed to that, because before, they have templates too. I know zero code. You can turn the coding on if you do know it. Cool. So you can actually go in and code the same. So same thing with Wix and same thing with Weebly. There's a lot of websites out there that offer you. I for sure have used at least these two. Another place to be able to put your portfolio up on is you can actually do something like ArtStation. ArtStation has popped up recently. Did I put that in here for my friend? I'm going to show you guys my friend, Horace, also known as Hosier. He's an amazing illustrator, but this is a great way to just have a portfolio up right away. And ArtStation is really a place. I haven't made one myself yet because I use my website, but if you guys want to just have a different area to put your stuff up on, here's a great idea. And I think Hosier's looks really good because you can really professionally display a lot of different things, from 3D models to illustrations. It's a gorgeous website to be able to do that, and it looks phenomenal, and you can link back to a lot of different stuff there. So that's a good portfolio place. If you guys also want another really good example, one of my other friends, Z Ocelot, is very well known. Now this is a condensed version because you guys are seeing this in the corner, so I apologize for that, but you guys should really check out her stuff. This is a good example of being able to like show projects that you're proud of, tenure your website to what it is that you're selling. If you sell sketches and focus on characters, show sketches and your character work. If you sell 3D models and items of like weapons or tables, general background things, then put that on your portfolio. You don't have to show everything like from when you were in college and high school and your senior thesis and stuff like that. You don't have to put that onto there. Put what you are selling yourself as, okay? And this, I think, really does a good idea. So she has contact and about, but then she also has galleries where she has her personal work. She has fan art. She has sketches, and then she has projects. And I know this isn't all of her client work, but she has mostly illustration work. Why? Because she does really good illustration work. She has some consumer and business stuff as well, but you can literally tab through here and see a lot of her illustration work that she has been working on and other character work that she has worked on, and that is mostly what she does. Hosier, same thing. That is what you guys want your portfolios to be put around. If you guys are coding, same thing. What is it that you want? What languages do you want to code in? What is it that you specialize in? Show your specialties, but also, like, if you're open to trying new things, you can definitely put other things into your portfolio if you're willing to step out into that. But be careful about what you do. For example, in the world of 3D, as far as I know, the idea of this is that if you put in that, yeah, you know 3D animation, but you really like making mesh and like models, and you're not much of like, I really don't want to go into rigging, but I can do it. If you put up that you know rigging, they're probably going to try to hire you for rigging outright. Rigging is really hard to do, really frustrating. Not a lot of people get into it because most people want to do the mesh work, and there's a lack of people in that industry right now. So usually they'll try to hire you for rigging. So if you try once, like, oh yeah, I guess I can do rigging just to get in, they're probably going to keep you on that for the rest of your times. So there is things like that that you want to be careful of and sell yourself for. Now, if that's what you're okay with doing, just make sure you know that's what you're getting yourself into, okay? So just keep that in mind when you put that onto your portfolio. And that's why I tell you, make sure you're tenuring your portfolio for what it is that you want to sell yourself for, okay? So that's the portfolio part, and you really should stick to that. I touched on this earlier, but onto the next part is simplify. Unify yourself under a business name and stick to it. Even if it's just myart.com, use that as your Twitter, your Twitch, your website. Everything should go under it, or at least as close as you possibly can to it, and brand yourself. That is branding yourself. Brand yourself with either a type of design, like I have Rin's wings that usually represents me, and then I have the character name Rin, or my artist name Rin, or RinTheYordle right now, but for shorthand it is Rin. You will find me as Rin. You type in RinTheYordle, you will find all of my stuff. You find my name, you can find all of my stuff under that. That is how you should be branding yourself, and you need to simplify. The more simple it is, the easier it is for people to find you. The easier it is to have search engines find you. And if people are like, oh, hey, I saw this artist at a convention or something, but I don't really remember the name. I think it was Rin something, and they kind of type it in. They'll figure it out. They'll find where you're at if they forgot your business card or something like that, as long as you keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. Okay? Next is a really big one. If you're going to sell at conventions, or in general, if you're selling from your house, like me right now, I am selling. Hey, thank you for the sub so much, man. I appreciate that. If you guys are going to be selling, this is the really big one, in that you guys are going to need your business license really badly. Thank you, Reb. Your business license is going to change per each state, and this is why if you, sorry, I got distracted, I can't look at chat too much right now. You guys are going to have to pay attention as per each state that you're in, okay? Washington is different from Arizona, and I had to figure that out differently. Each state is completely different on your business license, and usually what you want to go to is your state Department of Revenue, Washington State of Revenue, Department of Revenue, Arizona Department of Revenue. It's always under the Department of Revenue.gov or something like that. And that is for
a wise choice.
The US. I don't know how it works overseas, so I do apologize. This is just what I'm telling you guys. Now, what you guys need to do, thank you very much, Russian, everybody. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to my stuff more importantly, but thank you very much for the support, guys. The way this works is that you only technically need a business license for where you're conducting business. So even though I sell to everybody else out there,
Frank,
like I sell to people across overseas and stuff like that, the only thing that I need to pay taxes on is here in Washington, right? So that's why I have my business license. I have my license number. I have all of my information to be able to pay my taxes in Washington. For each transaction that you guys do with me, I pay tax on that, and you have to do that, okay? The only time that is different is when you are selling physically in another state. So anytime, if you guys are doing conventions, this is the big thing to remember, and make sure you're on top of the game for this, because this takes a while. Some of them will take way longer. California is like a flash. Arizona took me a month and a half to be able to get my business license back. You need to be able to get a business license per each state that you are physically in doing business at, okay? So when you say, okay, for example, I'm going to Phoenix Comic-Con here in the next like week, right? I had to have a physical piece of paper that says this is my business name here, all my information, I have paid what I need to, and here is my thing. They emailed me saying, hey, we need your information right now. Some of them will very specifically get on your ass about this, and you need to make sure that you have it, because if you don't, you just paid for a booth that you're not going to be able to sell at, you're not going to be able to do anything. And I know it's a pain. Some of them are actually much more cheaper than other licensing. But Arizona for the city of Phoenix, because you actually have to list it under the city of Phoenix, for that one, was $50. It sucks, and I'm gonna get to the whole money poof, like tax money. Yeah, I know it's tough for people, and I know it seems scary, but I promise it all makes sense later, and we're gonna go over all of that. Now, the reason why I keep saying per state and why I'm trying to be careful about my wording here is, like I said, each one is very different. So if you're confused, I know it's confusing. I know it's overbearing. But if you just give them a quick call, put all of your energy into that, give them a quick call. Most of the places at the Department of Revenue are actually very nice to work with. I called the ladies here in Washington. They've been great. I've called the people in Arizona. They have been phenomenal to me. If I ever have any issues, I literally just give them a call, be like, hey, you know what? I'm trying to do a temporary business license. I'm going to be selling here in this city. What is it that I need to do? Most of them you can accomplish online very quickly, but their website doesn't always make sense. So just give them a quick call, ask them what you need to do. They'll point you in the right direction to make sure that you are properly and adequately covered so that you do not get in trouble. And then once you have that figured out, you literally go online, you pop in a couple boxes and like, all right, here's how much money I made at this con. And then it automatically tells you how much tax you pay. And then you go, okay, I pay the tax. And you're done. That's it. Yes, they do want to help you do the right thing. So do not worry about calling them. Not going to yell at you. Just be kind. Say, hey, I'm very sorry. I'm new to this. Please be patient with me. What is it that I need to do? How do I pay my taxes? Now, this will also change depending on how much money you make. It also depends on the actual state tax if you have any in your area. Mine is actual for Washington. They don't have a state tax. It's like, it's because of me conducting business. So it's different on that end, but I still pay so much. Arizona was a TPT license at 10%. It was like 6.7%. But yes, that's how much you'll have to set aside, and you want to think about that instead of just being like, yay, I made $2,000 at my convention. Make sure you set aside money to be able to pay these. If you do not, again, you will get in trouble, and I cannot stress enough how very important it is to go over getting a business license. It's tough. It's probably the hardest part I've had to figure out through my convention stuff, but it is incredibly important, and it gets easier every single time. Once you have it settled, I promise it does not take much time to be able to do the rest of it. So just do it. If you guys have questions, call your Department of Revenue. If you guys are from overseas or anything like that, call your general business department. Look online, look for official websites. They're usually different compared to just .com websites. There's usually government type websites that they're completely listed differently that only the government can do, and be able to have that ending type to be able to call or email them and go, hey, I need advice. Please help me out so that I can do this. Even if you only make a little bit, ask them if that's something that you need to actually file taxes for. Whatever it is, don't pretend like you're not going to have to, because the minute they find out, like PayPal over a specific amount, once they do, they send you a 1099. You don't file that 1099, you're going to get audited, and you're going to owe money. Don't pretend like you can just fly under the radar, guys, okay? Know how much you need to pay, if you need to pay, and what's going on. Educate yourselves on business licenses as much as you possibly can. I gave you the general gist of it, but you still need to be able to do that. As with PayPal, and like I said, with the 1099, that's something else I highly recommend you guys do. Get a PayPal account and set it as a business account, okay? Not just a regular account. A business, specifically a business PayPal account, it takes 2 seconds to apply for it. All it does is upgrade your original account as is, and it turns it into a business account. It secures so much stuff for you guys. I can't even begin to tell you how much it's going to cover your ass if you get a business account with PayPal. I know they take money from you, but honestly, it is the most convenient and cheapest thing that smaller businesses have. And they're gonna protect you. They're gonna protect you from most case scenarios, and it gives you a lot of options to be able to conduct your business, especially for you artists going to conventions, selling your art, and everything, okay? Business PayPal allows for invoicing, which is another one I cannot stress enough. Let me wave my arms around and do this a lot more. Guys, always invoice your stuff. Do not do anything without invoices. Invoices are a paper trail to cover your butt, okay? It has an area on PayPal's invoicing that has a nice little area that you can attach your terms of services. So you don't have to keep walking around and trying to figure out where your terms of services went if anybody tries to pull a fast one on you. Your terms of services are right there, okay? Your terms of services are there. It's a paper trail. If anybody tries to jip you on stuff, you can literally call PayPal and be like, hey, this happened, I need help, and they're going to protect you because you made that invoice. Do not pay for your work under the, or any artwork that you are doing, anything that you are selling as a piece, do not take commissions under the option of friends and family. There's an option for that in the drop down that allows you to do that without having to get charged from PayPal. I know it seems enticing, but don't do it. You will get in so much trouble, and if anything happens, PayPal cannot help you with it. They're gonna be like, well, it's friends and family, it's your own fault. They will not legally help you with anything the minute you do it under friends and family. And as Mitzi just said, invoices are legally binding. They aren't just easy help from PayPal. That is true. Invoices are legally binding. You want to cover yourselves. You want to protect yourselves, guys, because people, I'm sure you've seen plenty of stories out there of issues with that, with people trying to jip you. They'll take the artwork and then do a chargeback on you, so suddenly you're getting charged like you lost the $100 that you did for your commission, and you're getting charged $30 from PayPal. You call them up and be like, hey, wait, no, this didn't happen, and they will work with you. They will help with you because they are legally contracted to do so. That is what invoices are. They are a lifesaver. Do it, do it, do it. The invoicing on PayPal is so easy. It's so easy, guys. I can't begin to tell you how easy it is. So do it. Check it out. Get yourself a business account. Do invoices. You can also, with business, there's a lot of different things, but I'm just telling you a couple things that you can do. The business PayPal allows you to do simple shipping. Really simple shipping. As long as your package isn't too, too heavy. It seems to have a weight limit. I do a lot of small stuff. Niloku, I can actually answer that for you if you remind me a little bit later. And I can talk to you more about that later, okay? Once I get through everything. Can you remind me and ask me during the Q&A section? How to do your invoices? Because I will definitely answer that for you in a little bit, okay? The simple shipping with PayPal is very, very easy. You go in, you pop in the person's address. Sometimes they'll even pull it for you on things like Store Envy and stuff like that. Instantly, once you've done a thing, it'll pull all that information. You pop it in, you tell how much the weight of it is. All you need to know is the weight, and it's cheaper than the USPS. The USPS is almost $4 right now in the US to ship from state to state under 9 ounces. That is my current going rate, right? Is literally like I go into the USPS and I tell them, oh man, like I get all shaky when I go up and talk to the people when I've got like 20 packages. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to ship everything out. This makes it so much easier. You just need a crappy printer, print the thing out, you know the weight of your packages, you stick it on there, and you drop it off at the post office. It takes 2 seconds and it makes life so much easier. And it's super, super easy. So there's that you get. It also gives you, and this is the greatest thing, and this is something that's going to go into later, so remember this very well. It gives you reports, it gives you activities, charts and graphs, monthly statements, and the 1099 tax documents that you guys are going to need. US people, I'm specifically talking to you on this one, you're going to need these tax documents because you have to file that. They're going to give you this information, and you have to file that or else you will get audited, and it's not good. It's not good, so don't get audited. Always put your stuff in, because I don't want you guys to be in trouble. These are really important, but the monthly statements help you track your information, which I said I'm going to go over a little bit later. This is more into the tax and like business tracking part of it that I'm going to go into. And another thing, too, is they give you a free PayPal reader. All you do is you go into the place, anywhere that has a PayPal reader, you buy it for $14.99, and then you tell PayPal, hey, I bought this, and they're like, okay, and they give you $14.99 back. And guess what? You get a free card reader, so anytime you go to a convention, all you need is your lovely little phone and the PayPal reader here, and ta-da, I can start taking credit cards on the spot. Do you know how nice that is? That's another thing too. Convention people, you want those credit and debit card readers. If you're going with Stripe, if you're going with PayPal, I usually like doing everything through PayPal, just because all of my business is in one area. If you want to look into Stripe, you totally can, but having those readers is phenomenal. All you need is a cell phone service, and if you absolutely need to, run off of Wi-Fi and get those card readers. It will save you so much because people do not always have cash. Okay. And then make sure that you're paying the taxes on that too. Because again, it's going to come through and you're going to need to, you want to track everything here. And again, I'm going to get more into that about tracking everything that you do, from how much business and money you make to how much you're spending, because it's all going to help you out. Okay. That's the other thing.
For great science.
Up next, we're going into information about, I can't stress this enough, guys. And I know it's really tough too. When you're starting up your business, you go, how much do I charge people? Do not undersell your work. I know this is really tough for some of you guys, and it makes it incredibly hard, okay? It's so very hard to figure out how much you should sell yourself for, especially when a lot of people do not understand. They go up and go, wait, but you're just an artist. Shouldn't, like, it took you 5 minutes. Shouldn't you just pay me, like, I should only pay you $5 or do it for me free? That is not true. Do not undersell yourself. And yes, always at least do minimum wage. Personal clients are different from studios as well. You are more likely to charge more to a studio because you are selling the rights of your artwork to that studio, okay? Studio, same with doing actual contractual work for a company. Same thing, okay? Clients is a little different. You actually still own the rights to the art, and if they want to sell it, you want to actually go through and pay the difference, so that that is contractual to that. So studio work or anything above that where you are selling the absolute rights, charge a little bit more. Personal clients, you can charge a little less. But it still needs to be at least minimum wage, and think about it hourly. Do some tests before you even take commissions. Think about this and go, hey, all right, it took me 3 hours just to do a simple sketch. So I should charge $10 an hour, so these sketches should go for $30. That is what you need to be doing. Pay attention to your prices. Pay attention to how it, because if you guys are underselling yourself, you're not going to be able to make it. And sometimes I know that's hard. There's another thing too, where people always say, like, are you, you shouldn't do anything for exposure. Don't do it. Guys, if you want to do something for exposure, if it is something that you think will do really good for you and you have the time and the capability to do so, that you are not going to screw yourself because of the time that you are pushing down to be able to give out this work for charity work, for doing anything for exposure, for a friend, for anything that you want to do for that. You can actually do offers to people for free if you really want to. It's not against the law, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself if you do so, and don't let people push you over about it, okay? If you need to have every single piece of work that you do for pay, then do it. A lot of us are under student loan debt or other kinds of debt, and you need to be able to take care of yourself. You have bills, you have taxes, you have many other things that you need to pay for, and if you are not being able to take care of those things, you are not going to be able to make it, and that's scary. If you really want to be able to do this, you have to understand your worth, and that is the hardest part. So if anything, again, things to keep an idea of on that, okay? At least minimum wage. Take the time to find out how long it takes you to do a complex piece of work, a smaller piece of work, and time yourself. There are timers that you have on your phone. There are timers that you can get easily on apps on your computer, tablet, phone, everywhere over the internet. There's timers everywhere that you can put up and check and time yourself how long it's taking you to make these works, and then do an hourly thing based off of that, okay? Please do this. Take the time to do this. And if you realize you're spending too much time, that's fine. Go ahead, finish what you're doing, and raise your prices. I've had to do this many times. I've had to change my prices many times, and I realized many times I'm overworked, I'm stressed out, and I'm barely making ends meet, so I have to raise my prices. And it's scary every single time I've had to do it. It's been absolutely terrifying to me, but you need to do it. And every time, if you have a community that you've built, they will follow you to it. Most times they'll probably even yell at you to raise your prices anyway, and that's when you know it's okay. It's okay. You can charge less. You can work for free and do stuff if you want to, but take care of yourself and then raise your prices as you need to. Make sure you're getting paid properly for your work. Hourly, at least minimum wage. Time it out. Okay? Now, next part I'm going to move on to. One more thing on the last. Watching your statements and checking your monthly income, which again, I'm going to go over. This is a lot of stuff that I'm raising up to the very end here, is checking your statements and checking your monthly income and how much you spend on bills will greatly help with this too, and if you need to be raising your prices, okay? So next up, I'm gonna go very quickly over, do you want to stream your process? I know a couple of you are probably going to be asking me this. So, if you want to stream your process of doing your art, there's actually a lot of pros and a little bit of cons that come to it too. So just a quick idea on it. If you want to stream your process, hey, guess what? We're here on Twitch, right? You can do that on picarto.tv or YouTube as well. This can help expose yourself while still actually making money. And it helps a lot to be able to do that, to get, new people to show up to the stream, new clients. It can give you the exposure for fan art even too, for things that you adore. As long as you put yourself under the proper hashtags, it can bring in another value of revenue by getting affiliated or partnership, bits, tips, etc. And then you can show clients as you work on stuff, which cuts your time in half. I can't begin to tell you how much it's been so phenomenal that you guys have been here when I'm working on your commission, so that you can give me feedback if I start to mess up on like the color of their eyes, or I'm like, hey, do you like this sketch so I can keep continuing, or do I have to like move to another piece of art because I need feedback before I can continue working on this? It helps so much. The part where it's exhausting and the cons to it is there's a lot of API plugins to learn. There's always new development to keep in mind. Do you care about the quality of your stream or not? That's going to be another expense to go into your business if you're going to be a streamer full-time. Are you going to need a Blue Yeti? Are you going to need a proper SLR mic? Are you going to need to upgrade your screen so you can have two screens so you can work and talk to people at the same time? Do you need a new keyboard? Do you need a new tablet? Like, what is it that you're going to need for all of that? There's a lot of thought process and a lot of extra expenses that come with that too. Do you have the internet for that? Guess what? Sometimes you have to upgrade your internet just to be able to even stream. There's a lot of things that come with it still, but it can help a lot, and it's definitely a venue that could benefit you in the future. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Oh yeah. Do you need overlays, button displays? How do you broadcast your work? Links, schedules to keep up on. Each reward that you get with each thing that you try to do comes with an exhaustion. Patreon, same thing. Gumroad, same thing. But there's a lot of different things out there to help get you more money. But it also comes with a lot of exhaustions with it too, so be careful how you spread your time, okay? But Stream can definitely help you along with these other programs and things for tips and whatever to be able to help progress and get you a little bit more money and work on your stuff and be able to kind of spread yourself instead of just being like, I'm doing only commissions and that's it, okay? Woo! All right, woo! We got a next big, really big part. That was all just the beginning steps, right? So that was all just the beginning. So to recap, we had business licenses. Make sure you're doing them. If you want to stream or do Patreon or do anything else to help on the extra, there are pros and cons to doing that, but you can do that to help with your business. Simplify, make sure you're unified under one brand for your name, such as myself, which is all RinTheYordle. You want to have a portfolio as well. That's all just the start of it. It's a lot to do, but once it's set up, it is set in stone. It's minor little updates here and there. You have to just keep up with a lot of things. It does get exhausting overall, but it is the basis that you guys are going to need to be able to build up to start on freelancing. The most important one being prices of your art or work, whatever it is that you're selling, making sure you have those business accounts and your licenses set up, okay? Those are probably the two big ones right there. Your simplification, if you're going to change your branding, that's fine. You can definitely do that. Your portfolio is going to be built up over time. That's fine if you don't have it right away, but I would highly recommend it if you're going to be selling stuff. You need at least a small one. You need to be able to have at least those couple little things, okay? So business licenses, your business accounts, and your prices is set and ready to go. Okay. Next up is a really, really big one. The really, really big one here is taxes and business tracking, receipts, all that jazz. You guys need to be doing this. You guys really need to do this one. I cannot stress this one a lot. And I know it's annoying, because trust me, I have been fighting with this one over the past couple years, and even recently, I just learned a whole lot more. And just so you guys know, for those of you who might be asking questions or anything right now, I'll be taking Q&A at the end. If you miss it, you are more than welcome to ask me on Discord or Twitter afterwards, and I will do my best to answer them for you to the best of my ability, okay? Now, save all of your receipts. You should be doing this. The other way to be able to collect your receipts and information is by following your bank statements and your sales records in both PayPal and your bank. Everything you spend, every piece of income, everything should be tracked. It's annoying. I know it is, but once you have it set up, it will be a lot easier for you. But I literally mean everything. You need to track your food. Track your gas. How far did you travel in your car to ship packages? How much did you spend on product? Any fees like bank or store fees. Store envy charges fees, banks charge fees, everybody charges fees on stuff. Collect all that information. Your cell phone insurance, monthly expenditures on like your rent. I know some of that is going to be personal and you're not going to use all that for write-offs, but it's still going to help you, and I cannot tell you how very important it is if you guys aren't already doing it. You need to do that. Yes, Taco, it will be cut down into it. Well, it's going to be the entire thing live in a video. You need to be keeping all of this information. Because it will help you. It'll help you realize what you may need to cut back on, what you need to push more on. Like, it will greatly help tell if you are succeeding at your work or not, if you need to, you know, like I said, push your prices up a little bit more, if you need to back off on going out to eat for the day or something like that. It's all gonna be okay, all right? Even if it's okay, and this one I can't stress enough either, because I've had to kind of like take a step back, and I'm gonna show you guys something scary for myself too in a little bit. It's okay if you're in the red. It's okay if you're in the red. This is why you need to be able to have a backup and like slowly trying to build up on that savings, even if it's a little bit. I know a lot of us are fighting tooth and nail just to be able to make ends meet, paycheck to paycheck. Okay? But it's okay if you're in the red. It's okay if you're not doing good for 1 month or 2 months in a row. It's okay if you're not doing good for a couple months in a row. You just need to be able to track this and know what's happening so you know your next steps. Okay? You need to know so that you can prepare yourself for the next possible thing. And it's just going to be super huge. Let's see. Oh yeah, life hack. Moving for work is totally something you can write off as well. That's something I learned recently. I don't think many people may or may not know that. But yeah, I found out that moving you can actually put as a write-up, because I did move for work. Part of work, and yes, I can put that in there. So just make sure it's okay. So track your receipts, find out and put everything into a nice little thing, and I'm going to show you guys an example of that. And it's okay to be in the red. It's okay to be in the red. Just know that you might have to take steps per each thing. Okay? Write up, what I mean by that is you can do write-offs every time on your taxes. And that's something I believe I go into further in the end here. But yes, you need to be able to show everything to write off your business expenses for everything. And I literally mean everything. I forget when I get into it, but I promise it'll come up too. But yes, write-offs and tax deductions is very important for your business, and another reason why I'm telling you guys to put all of this information down. Write-offs and tax deductions are going to save you. They're going to save you so much, and I cannot begin to explain. The first year I didn't do this right, and I ended up paying a solid $1,000 out of my pocket at the end of the year because I did not write up everything that I needed to. I put like a quarter of what I needed to in, and I paid a lot of money out at the end of the year, and it hurt. And then the year after that, I saved myself so much more. You can take away certain stuff that goes into your business, okay? There's a lot of things that you can do deductions in. I'm going to show you all that. So that's why I'm telling you guys, track your receipts. The other thing that I was going to go over as well is, just like bills, some business license make you pay monthly. Some make you pay quarterly. Some make you pay yearly. Check with your Department of Revenue and see how often you have to file your state business taxes. If you're not sure, call them. They will help you. I've said that before, and I'm going to say it again. They will save you. They will help you with so much, and you need to make sure that you save the money on the side so that you can pay that business license. It's another part of your taxes. It's just something you got to do, okay, guys? So if you make $1,000 at that con, and you know the state that you're in, like Arizona, was a 10% sales rate, you need to save all of your money, because if you make $1,000, that's $100 coming out of your gross pay, and you gotta pay it. Do not do the thing where you fly under it. You need to save your money on the side. So don't go with your gross payment, which is the accumulated amount with before taxes and any expenses that came out. Just your gross amount that you made. Like if you guys pay me $100 for a commission, that is the gross payment, and then I pay taxes and everything else, so the net worth is actually like $90 that I make on that, right? So you need to be able to put that money aside. Don't forget to put that money aside for any of your taxes, for any of your stuff. For the end of the year taxes, like, you need to be able to put money on the side for that too. Yes, donations are also part of that. You have to pay money on tips. Everybody does it. Unfortunately, you have to pay out on tips. As far as I'm aware, there might be some other ways around it. I haven't done it before. But everything gets taxed. Everything gets taxed in the end. Tips don't count as under the table money because they can still track it. Any of the stuff that you guys pay to me through PayPal is tracked, and I have to still, it's income. It's income that you guys are giving to me. The only time that things are not taxable is actual donations, in which you donate money to an actual organization, and that organization does not have to write taxes on it, but you have to claim that you are actually an organization before, and prove that with your organization's thing, and saying, yes, this is going to a specific cause, and this cannot be taxed, cannot be taxed. That is the only time. Everything else is income, and you have to be paying taxes on it. It is the unfortunate truth. So just so you guys know, save all that money. So I'm saying everything. Everything that you guys make, save all of it. Okay? One more time. It sounds scary, but once you've got it down, it's not. It literally, once you have everything in there, I literally have Excel sheets, and I'm gonna, I say I'm gonna show it here. What the heck? I'm gonna show it here. So let me pull this up really quick here, so I'm gonna show you guys this, and it's a little spooky, okay? Because I did really bad these last couple months. You know how I was saying I was freaking out really bad because of my expenses? moving and everything really took it out of me. And this is why. Now I'm actually tracking it full-fledged. I feel really embarrassed showing this, but this literally shows all of my personal expenses, my business expenses. It shows everything, just to give you guys a quick idea of that. Let's pull this other one up here too. Not that one. Give me just a second, guys. I feel like I skipped over a part, and I'm very sorry, guys. I have everything outlined. I have an actual piece here to show you guys. Give me one quick second. I'm trying to figure out where I put this. Alright, so there's a couple things I need to go over real quick here, but we're going to show you all this real quick. One way to easily track a lot of your stuff is this lovely little website and application here, okay? This thing right here is called Quickbooks. This thing has a wonderful business account and a lot of different versions that you can get for very cheap. You can do a 30-day free trial. They do a lot of different promotions, and it is phenomenal. It is an app on your phone. It can sync up with the rest of your documentation, and it'll help you track everything. Everything. I believe you can even input your PayPal information, and it'll automatically put all that information monthly, so you can go through and be like, yep, that was for gas, that was for my product, I bought charms with this, I sent money out to this person, so it'll document everything for you. I highly recommend this, okay? The other way I don't fully recommend, but you can do it, is the free way, which is my way, and that's what I'm going to show you guys here. I have built an entire Excel sheet per month that shows me all of my expenses. Here it is. So every month, you see the month of January, I have written in car repairs, car payments, insurance, all of that jazz, and it is all personally put into each of these things here, so every single thing that runs through is right here. So all of my fees that I know that I have to write up at the end of the year goes into both monthly, and then I can apply it for the end of the year, and also for my state taxes, which for me in Washington is quarterly. I can do write-offs with this information. These ones right here at the very end, merch bought for sale, shown exhibit fees, and materials and supplies being the very big ones. So that is something to keep in mind. You guys can build your own thing, but this basically, QuickBooks does all of it for you. It also takes information for you and puts it into this information into a sheet for you. Like, you don't have to do any of it. You don't have to make these sheets. Like, it takes forever putting those Google Sheets up together. You can also take pictures of your receipts, and it automatically inputs the information for you, so you don't have to sit there. It files it for you as well, so that is a much more documented way of doing it. There's a lot of things you can do with it. One other thing. So when I was saying how I pay attention to my expenses, all right? Ta-da! Look at these scary numbers. Scary numbers are scary. Can I zoom in on that? I can't zoom in on it, so I apologize. But see all this in the red? January and February, because I moved between these times, I bled money like nobody's business. I was down almost $3,000, $2,000 both months. It hurt a lot. And I was panicking heavily, and I was trying not to. And then as I kept not doing quite as good, I just barely didn't make ends meet on that, I was worried. And I'm like, I'm going to have to make a step soon. I have to figure it out soon. Here's all of my personal expenses. Here's all my business expenses. Here's my moving expenses, my supplies, everything like that. I track everything. And this is why I need to find out, being like, all right, I got to change stuff. I got to move stuff around. Let's do it. And that's what I did. I started changing my stream schedule again. I fixed everything up. I started pulling to you guys like, all right, what else can I do that would be interesting to you guys? I changed my ways based off of this information. This is what you need to be tracking for your expenses, okay? This is what you guys need to be doing. And I said it's scary but it helps you make sure you take the right steps into protecting yourself and making sure you're doing the right thing. At absolute worst, if I had to, I'd go and get a part-time job or do a full-time job. If that's what I have to do, you have to budget yourself. You have to make sure everything's going good. And that doesn't just mean your personal life, it means your business as well. You are a sole proprietor and you have to take care of this, and this is what they expect you to do. They expect you to do your businesses, your business license, they expect you to do your taxes, both at the end of the year and your state taxes. That's all there is to it. So I'm telling you guys what you have to look forward to, what to look at, and make sure you're on top of it. Stay on top of it. If you're not on top of it, you're gonna fall. And that's okay. It's okay if you do, but you need to learn from your mistakes and get back into it. Okay? It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Just do this. The Quickbooks state taxes, that does the state, it actually can file it for you too as a small business. So it can help you file everything and put everything in as you need to, including, I believe, your deductions. It'll help with that. Oh, TurboTax. For the end of the year, TurboTax also offers a sole proprietor for $80, which you can write that off as well. Ta-da! That helps put everything in as you need to for a sole proprietor. Okay? Yes, and back up all this information. Do not lose it. Put this in like 10 different areas and save it. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. But yes, you guys very much want to do this stuff. And this is where I can't, like, QuickBooks has been around for so long, and it is, like, literally the leading thing that you can do, and it's pretty cheap for a sole proprietor one. I found out about TurboTax this year. Oh my god, TurboTax is amazing. I buy the sole proprietor one every single year. It's like $80 every year. Last 3 years I've used, no, 4 years. I've used it all 4 years. And it's been phenomenal. It helps you write up everything. It helps you put everything together. It walks you through the process. It's a little confusing, but if you need to, again, you can just call people and be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. And they'll be like, oh, okay, here, do you have this, this, this? And this is why I'm saying, you guys putting all this information in, you guys getting all this together with your totals, holy shit, will save you so much time at the end of the year. Otherwise, you're trying to pull all that together at the end of the year, and you're like, and you're spending like 4 days trying to put taxes together. Do this ahead of time. It'll save you a lot of the headache. Okay? I can't stress that enough because I screwed that up the first year, and it literally spent like 4 days trying to pull all of my stuff together at the end of the year. And then I got better at it, and then I got better at it, and now I'm like, all right, here's everything that I need pulled together. It makes a lot more sense. Do QuickBooks! Okay. There are a few other accounting services, and some local software for sure. But QuickBooks has been around for as long as I can remember. My mom's used it. I've used it. It's done really, really good for me, so. All right, moving on. Woo! Sounds good, Lily World. Take care. It'll all be on YouTube later, I promise. All right, next up, we have selling your work. Holy crap. Holy crap, guys. Yeah, I know. I have all of this. I'm going to have it as a YouTube, and I also have it as a document for you guys to check out so you can literally read along with me. But I wrote all this up, and it took like 7 hours yesterday. Selling your work. Here's the fun part. Woo! Now we got all of that damn business stuff out of the way. Well, now what do we do next? We have to, you know, you want to sell artwork. Where do I sell artwork? How do I sell my stuff? How do I make product? Guys, guess what? I'm gonna show you where you can do all this. And this is like just scratching the surface of it. It is business, but this is the fun part of business where you get to like, this part's scary, but it's actually really fun. So I'm gonna go over, where do I start? And this is also gonna touch on fan art and if it's not fan art, okay? Each thing can be super daunting, so there's a whole shitload of websites that you can use. Ta-da! How do I use them though? What do I do? What's good from bad? I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of rundown of everything that I've messed with, and then information that I've also looked up before, and maybe why or why I don't use them. Thank you, Rab.
Now, but thanks for all the info.
So, first off though, I'm going to give you guys a lowdown before we get into these websites and what you need to look out for too, okay? If it is fan art, do not sell on a website that takes your artwork and prints it for you each time you make a sale. Like basically they have all the physical product and they do that for you. If it is fan art, you cannot do that. Fan art is already in a massive gray area, and when you're putting it onto another website like that, where they take that content, you are saying that you own the IP and everything, the intellectual property, which you do not. You own the artwork, sure, but you do not own the intellectual property, and you're saying that you do, and that is against the law. Okay? So you can't do that. You will get it taken down instantly. It's not going to happen. All right? But that's because you're selling it to this other place that is going to make money off of that as well, which is why it is not okay. They are selling the intellectual property, which is not okay. They need to be just selling the artwork, and they can't do that because it's your property as well. Okay? So, if you guys do, at any point, at any of these websites take you down, they're probably going to give you a cease and desist, hopefully. And if they do, you have to comply. You get a cease and desist, you need to comply 100%. This is a hand-in-hand thing that fan artists are lucky enough, like myself, are able to do this kind of stuff under specific reasonings that they find is okay. Okay? And one of them is do not post work onto other places that is going to make the product and sell it for you. Okay? So things like Redbubble, Society6, anything that's going to do stuff like that, you cannot do that. Okay? You just can't. I've had work taken down before. I had a cease and desist on an Assassin's Creed button that I made for, like, GameStop one time, and they were upset about it. Good. Got it. Done. Goodbye. Well, yeah, if you get a DMCA. But that's a whole nother story. But anyways, basically, don't make any fan art on stuff that is going to physically take the work and do it for you. You need to be able to buy it on yourself, by yourself. The other part of fan art, which is a massive no-no no matter what you're selling on, don't use trademark things, which is titles and names of stuff. So if you put the Overwatch logo and you're like, oh, it's just a piece of the background, guess what? You're going to get it taken down in a hot flash. You try using anybody's logo, you're going to get it taken down in a hot flash. You try putting a title of just like Overwatch charms onto your charms, you're probably going to get all your charms taken down. Why? Because you can't use the title. They're trademarked. They are trademarked. They are trademarked. They are trademarked. Do not use trademark stuff, which is mostly logos and titles. Don't ever use it, ever. Try to work around it best you can. You can make fan art because guess what? You have made the art, which you own. You do not own any of that when it comes to the titles or anything, so just don't use it, okay? It will straight up get taken down. All right, next. If it's not fan art, congratulations, you don't have to worry about cease and desist. Now, you just need to worry and read that lovely fine print on the website about the ownership. Most websites aren't going to completely screw you. Anything that I've gone over through here should not. But any other website that you're thinking about getting into, I do yell a lot. I'm sorry. Curious. And no problem, Jazz. Any website that you're thinking about trying, because a lot of new websites end up popping up, you need to be careful and make sure that you keep the intellectual property to it. Make sure that if you even need to email them and be like, hey, just so I have a paper trail, what is it about that, like, do you guys keep my work? Is it yours if I submit it? Or am I allowed to have something on my own? Am I allowed to keep my intellectual property of my artwork? And if they tell you, no, you don't get to keep it, then you run away because you want to keep the intellectual property to your art. Unless for some reason you're actually selling it. But for the most part, just read the fine print. Try to make sure that at least your work is not being owned. It's not being just sold out unless you want it to be. Okay? Okay. That's all. Now, for the websites, here's where we get into the really big stuff. Ooh, guys, guess what? So, we're going to start with this lovely one, which I currently use as Store Envy. It's a fairly great website that I use. They recently, though, added a per-sale commission. They take 10% off of each and every piece that I sell. Kind of sucks, but you get a lot out of it, too. So, it's kind of a way. There's no listing fees. There's my Store Envy. You do get a front store shop that you can put everything up on. They allow you to do They allow you to do shipping straight through the company, which also allows you to do shipping to other countries without having to go into the store or going onto the USP website and going through all that stuff. It's kind of annoying. This one just automatically pops all the information in and does it, and you print off a label and you're done. Ta-da! There's a lot of customizable things. You can put in how much you want to tax. You can put a lot of different stuff on there. There's, like I said, there's no listing fee. And they've also started working with other companies, like t-shirt companies and stuff, that it can actually print the stuff for you. But most of this is off of your own product. So you make the stuff, you put it up there, you get all the product shipped to you, and you ship the product to the people. That's how it works. There's a lot of cool stuff there. I actually really like using Store Envy. It's been really great for me. I believe not all of my stuff has a 10% amount, but either way, I still usually charge for that. So I get that taken care of. Another one that is been used a lot, and I don't know too much about it recently because I've not actually used the program before, or the website, is Etsy. Etsy, though, unfortunately, has a listing fee as far as I know, meaning you have to pay money to put it up on the storefront, and then it will come down later after a period of time. I think they said on, like, a search I did was about 4 months. It's kind of meh on that. They also take a percentage, which is about 4% when you sell an item. So there's a lot of charges there. The listing fee isn't too much. It's a couple cents worth. But then the percentage on top of that. And I just don't like that they take it down. Because every time you have to put it back up, especially if your sales is slower like mine, my sales don't actually go that often on websites. And having to constantly relist it is annoying. Because I have a lot of product. But that's totally up to you. That's totally up to you what you guys want to use. It would be very recommended. I know many friends who use Etsy still. And, you know, they love using that as well. They offer a lot of the same stuff as Store Envy. It's just slightly different on the listings. So that's up to you. Store Envy, Etsy, do what you want. It's just when it takes it down constantly, it's like, man, I can't leave it up there. Like, once it's up there, it's done. And then you just get a sale per whatever. So it evens out much better for me than having to constantly relist, like, my, God, 70 charm designs and buttons and stuff like that. So now we're moving on to one of the other ones, which is Redbubble. Redbubble is pretty cool because you get a storefront and it offers so many different things that you can actually purchase for device cases, stickers, wall art, home decor, stationery, bags. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And the margins you kind of set for it, but they take a pretty big cut. They take a pretty big cut. I don't know too much about them. They have some cool, interesting stuff. I'd had some people say that they really like it, and some people say they really don't. The product that they can make from it, some people say, like, yeah, I love the prints, or eh, it's okay. You'd have to check into it yourself. But it is something that's out there. But like I said, don't put fan art up here. Because if you put fan art up on here, you will get it taken down very quickly. You cannot do that. It's not allowed with them. And they, you will have all of your fan art taken down instantly. So if you're ever curious about that, that's why. There is also a nice article, which I have linked to the document. That is the artist margins and how much you get paid per each sale. Which you kind of set the price. And it's going to have to, like, bump it up a lot. And even then, like, I make a lot more off of having my own product sent to me rather than sending it through another thing. Plus, then I have the product for my convention. I'm not sure if Redbubble offers wholesale, which would suck because if I can't buy it on wholesale, which is a lot cheaper, so that I can, I can go in and buy stuff off of their website for a cheaper amount, basically like the cheapest amount by just paying the company for what they would do to put the work in to print it on t-shirts and stuff and then sell it at my convention or my booth. They don't really offer that. So or at least not that I know. If they do, it is unknown to me, but I would like having that. I like having the product so that I can go to a convention with it. So something to keep in mind. I'm going to really briefly touch over these because they're kind of the same thing, but Society 6 and, whoops, wrong thing. Society6 and also Printful. Because I had a document that kind of showed me the stuff on that on who makes more money, but this one is more towards like Printful. They're do basically the same thing as Redbubble. I've had people say, oh, I like Society6 t-shirts way more than Redbubble. It looks like there's not a whole lot of options that you can do for printing different stuff on it. So that's something to keep in mind, and what quality of stuff you like if you want to have something where somebody else takes care of it for you. The great thing about these kind of websites is that you don't have to worry about it. You just put your artwork up, and if somebody sells something, great, you make a couple bucks off of it. If not, then, you know, it just sits up there and whatever. So it's just that kind of, a thing. Where instead of having to go around and buy all your product and stuff like that, it takes a lot. And this just takes that off of you. You don't have to worry about that. Your earnings are kind of weird between each website. I'd highly recommend, if you guys are looking into this so that you don't have to handle the product, that you guys do the research on what might be a better idea. Get some test prints and quality from them. Be like, hey, can I get like test t-shirts, or do you guys have any packages just to show me how your product looks when it's done? And sometimes they have that. A lot of people do offer test packages just so you can check stuff out. Now another one I'm gonna go into, which I need to learn more about them for sure, because at first I kind of like moved away from it. I wasn't sure about it, and then I moved back to it. This lovely website called Design by Humans. Now Design by Humans also allows you to have a shop front, but I believe they're working with companies now where they have the actual intellectual license for Deadpool. Like Marvel's actually teamed up with them to sell Deadpool stuff, which means too that you have the legal right, as long as you submit it and they're okay with it, you can do fan art under their legal rights, because that company is working with the other company and paying them to be able to sell fan art of that type. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I have not checked in on Design by Humans in a while. But you might be able to in some cases. They have a lot of cool stuff on here. You can put, it's mostly for t-shirts, but you can do prints and a couple other things there as well, accessories and stuff. And a lot of YouTubers, like high broadcasted kind of people, are starting to sign up on here with their own product as well too. So something to keep in mind, they are trying to team up with other stream teams to be able to make stuff for people. So I would check into Design by Humans, maybe see if that's something you wanted to do. I also don't know if they do wholesale, but if anything, they do have a cool storefront. I tried something with them once, but I realized I couldn't do fan art with them, so I decided to stray away for a bit. And I might come check them out a little bit more again, but still something to keep in mind. Now, my next one I have worked with, and I actually really like them so far. If you guys want to 100% be allowed to do for specific fandoms that you really like Steven Universe, Slime Rancher, they have Homestuck, they have a lot of really cool stuff, including something that I work with called Guild Wars 2. That is 100% legal. They have the rights, and they go through a very hefty voting process, which is the downside of this, and I'll get to that. For Fans by Fans is really cool because you upload the stuff, they approve it to make sure it's not like inappropriate, that they can't post it on the website, and then it goes through a voting process that everybody has to vote on. If that succeeds, then they go to the company, make sure it's okay with the company, that they like this design, that it doesn't misinterpret their game or TV show or whatever, and then it goes up into the Forge. They also offer wholesale for sure. I did confirm this with them. And so you can buy that product that you get. And you can get all of this stuff sent to you. Anything that you get sent in, you can buy it cheap so you can sell it at your booth. And you get a storefront, and it's 100% legal. You're not doing this whole grace area of fan art and stuff where you're like, well, I made the intellectual art, and as long as I don't step on the company's toes, they won't step on mine. None of that. This is actually legal. 100% allowed. There's no gray area. It's literally going to the company. It's literally going to the company and being like, hey, am I allowed to make this artwork? And they go, yeah, sure. It's so cool. I really love that. I really, really love that. It's the best way for fan art, in my honest opinion. I wish more companies would do stuff like this. So it's really cool, because now I can do this for Guild Wars 2, because Guild Wars 2 has, like, I've had okays from Riot doing what I do for the most part. Like I said, you have to, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you're going to do fan art, make sure you listen to companies, because we are working hand in hand to be able to make these communities that we're pulling together and make this art together. Okay? They allow us to make the art and sell the art, which is our art, so that we are building a community together. It's not that we're saying we own the intellectual property. It's saying that we love this, we wanted to make art for this community because we love it so much. That is what we are saying, and we cannot step on the toes of that with fan art, okay? And, you guys get to do all of this easily, fairly easily on, I should say fairly easily on For Fans by Fans. The Fan Forge is where everything kind of goes down. So you guys go into here, you go and vote for stuff that you like. And this is literally what it is. You go in, you check out the wallet design, and they have contests going on. And if your information gets accepted and they put it up on the website, it can even show up at their convention places, and every sale that they do of that art that they put onto t-shirts and bags and whatever it is that you put it on, you get a cut of. Congratulations! And you can buy that and put it at your own booth. I love that. It's like a whole all around everything amazing on that. So I highly recommend checking out For Fans. Just keep in mind, again, remember how I said about time? The biggest downside when it's hard for that rating system is if you are making work and you don't get upvoted or even made, you're working for free with no real knowledge if it's going to get turned into a product for profit. So keep that in mind. Okay? Okay? All right. Guys, we're just getting into the gist of this. So those are websites that you guys can go to put storefronts up, or to get a storefront where people make the product for you. There's a lot of cool stuff there. All those links will be in the document that I have, which you guys can see. For Fans by Fans, Designed by Humans, Printful, Society 6, Redbubble, Etsy, Store Envy, all this stuff. Okay? All right. Next up, so you say, all right, you want to do what I do, and that's Store Envy, and you want to be able to control all the product that comes into your hands. You're like, all right, here's how much I have. Like, I have all my stuff packed up right now, ready for Phoenix Comic Con. I have everything that's going with me, all my charms, all of my prints, all of my enamel pins I've got coming up, t-shirts, bags, you name it. I want to make this stuff. I want to print it. Where do I go to make that? Guess what, guys? I put an entire list of stuff together for you. Yes, I am showing every single website that I go to for buying stuff. Everything, including bags and bulk items and you name it. So, we're going to quickly go over this best I can. Cat Print is the first one and probably the only print place that I go to because I really like them. Really good customer service. They do large size prints, they do holographic prints, they can do business cards, they can do greeting cards, they can do postcards, you name it, and it's fairly easy to use. The website gets a little buggy once in a while, but for the most part, it's pretty easy. The only thing I recommend if you guys aren't used to doing prints is get a test print from them first. It's free. Plan ahead of time because it takes a while to ship everything. If you need it in a rush, it's going to be super buka, like, expensive, okay? So don't try to rush anything. Give yourself time. Check stuff out. But they have free test prints. So you just be like, hey, guys, I want to make sure that this looks okay before I get all of my 40, 50 prints done of it. And they go, okay. So they send you a test print. And they're like, what do you think? And you're like, oh, it's too dark. Because usually the prints will turn out too dark. 90% of the time, your prints will turn out too dark. And that's why I tell you guys to check your values a lot. Do it. Do your test prints so that you can go and adjust stuff and then be like, okay, I fixed it. Can I get another test print? And then once you finally get the thing that you want, then you can order the massive amount. Because once you order that massive amount, you say you like what's going to happen. And if you don't like what happens, they ain't going to refund you for it. If they mess up on anything too, they have completely reimbursed me for entire shipments and rushed ordered me stuff to a convention in time so that I have things. So yeah, that's really nice. Sorry. So Cat Print's pretty cool. Next up, you guys have probably heard me say a lot about them before, and I'm going to talk a lot about them because they do a lot of cool stuff. Zap Creatives. Zap Creatives is a UK-based company that has a ton of stuff. They do charms. They do acrylic stands. They do enamel pins now. They do stickers. They do laser cutting in general. They're awesome. They're really awesome. They have pretty good customer service. They do buttons, they do prints as well if you want. I wouldn't recommend them for prints, probably. Maybe, I don't know. I've not done prints with them, but I've done basically everything else with them. I have done stickers, enamel pins, charms. I was looking at acrylic standees. I've not done buttons, but that's different. Either way, there's a lot of stuff you can do with them. Highly recommend. They also offer really good rates for customers in the US. So that's really cool. Highly recommend. For a different thing for charms, there's also a place that I've used before called Chili Pig. They do a couple different charms. They do stickers and phone cases, but I've mostly done charms for them because they have a couple different specialized ones that I do for once in a blue moon when I want like glitter or a stand or something. So Chili Pig's good. Another company that I've also used is Inkit Labs, which I really love their customer service. It's probably the best customer service I've ever had. And they claim that they are the inventors of the printed clear acrylic charm, which is really cool. And they really show it. The charm quality from them is really phenomenal. They've been great people to work with. I absolutely adore them. But it is a small business owned by other artists who make their own artwork and have their own website and sell their stuff as well too. So keep that in mind, but they've been phenomenal. They're like Texas-based, so they're really great people. I love working with them. Next, I haven't done this yet, but I've heard nothing but raving reviews. If you guys want t-shirts in general, they do a couple other things, but the big thing they're known for is t-shirts. It's called Threadbird. Threadbird does t-shirts, and they give you a lot of options. They give you test prints. They give you options for types of shirts that you want, hoodies. They have so much in here for t-shirts. It's phenomenal, and I will be doing t-shirts with them soon. I'm trying to work on it once I have a little bit more, but I highly recommend checking them out if you guys are interested in t-shirts. I've heard nothing but phenomenal stuff, and give them a shot. Email them. I heard the customer service is really good from them too. Let them know, and see if that's something that you guys want to do. Threadbird should be really cool for that. Next up, if you guys want bags and everything else, this place right here called Arts Cow is pretty cool. Arts Cow does a lot of product stuff. They do a lot. I would highly wait to make sure that things are on sale or get like a, get on their mailing list for, their deals and stuff that they have going on because, they're a little expensive otherwise, but they do a lot of stuff like bags, photo books, accessories, stationery, you name it, and you get to order all of it, and it's all customized. You can even upload like, photography to make like skirts. I think they allow like fabric rolls too. Excuse me, my throat's getting really dry. But they do a lot of specialized printing, which is really cool. So if you guys want to get like lanyards, fabric, just fabric rolls that you get to turn into like cosplay or something based off of, or like your own, I don't know, leggings, you can even do that off of cute little things that you've created. So that's cool. Next up, we've got PinSource. PinSource is a place I was looking at for enamel pins. They've got a pretty good place. They've been running since 1986. Looks like they have a lot of different things to offer, like glitter. I don't know if they have glow-in-the-dark or the rainbow enamel. I haven't found a place that has the rainbow enamel plated yet. But yeah, this is a lot of cool stuff for enamel pins. You guys might want to give them a call if you're interested. They seem like really good people. The next one that is also a pin place but also does patches and stuff like that is this website called Stadry Emblems. They do embroidered patches and they also do enamel pins. I'm working with them to do my enamel pins right now, and I'll find out how they are. But so far their customer service has been really phenomenal. Hey, yeah, it sounds good, dude. Yeah, so I'll let you guys know how that one turns out, but so far their customer service has been phenomenal. They've been really great people, so I like working with them. Oh, we're just getting into it. All right, next up, this place has a couple different things as well too, but the thing that they're known for is literally in their name is Busy Beaver Button Company, and they do a lot of buttons. The cool thing is they do specialized buttons too, including, remember how I was saying about that 24 karat gold button? Yeah, they can do 24 karat gold plated buttons. They do holographic from different types of holographic printed ones. Oh, yeah, the custom apparel one you can actually do for single orders. Everything else is bulk. You cannot buy single orders off of most of these places. This is for stocking product, so that one's tough. But the Arts Cow one, you can actually buy personalized ones, and I think is what they're used to doing compared to bulk stuff, but you can email them about it. So yeah, Busy Beaver Button Company has a lot of cool specialized buttons. They do holographic, they do gold, silver, and then actual 24 karat gold ones. Like, they're awesome to work with. They're really fantastic. I've had great customer service with them. I ordered my Arene buttons from them actually. After that, now you guys may not want to do this, may not, but, if you guys have seen my button press before, this is actually where I bought it from. If you guys are like, I would rather just print my own buttons if you have a decent printer, you can actually get a button maker and all of the pin sets and different types right here on buttonmakers.net. They're phenomenal. And guess what? This piece of honkin' metal that I bought 5 years ago is so bulky and so good. It hasn't taken any damage. Like, I have tossed it around everywhere. I have literally slammed it onto the floor on accident because it is a hunking chunk of steel. And it is working perfectly fine and beautiful. Well worth the money if you guys want to invest into it. I believe, like, for the button maker, a cutter, like, to cut the pieces of paper out for the perfect size for the button. And, the press and all of the button pieces, it was, like, $500–600 to get you started. And then after that, like, buying 1,000 buttons when I restock them is, like, 60 bucks? It's awesome. They're really, really great. I love button makers. They're phenomenal people. Alright. So that's mostly for that kind of stuff. Next, I'm gonna go into actual, like, some display things. Anything else that I don't say, like, art polls, things like that, I would recommend checking out on Amazon, but some of this is, like, very specific, and I'm going more for specific stuff. So if you guys want clear stands, I recently bought from these guys called Clear Solutions Displays, and they're pretty awesome. I bought a tiny little display just to put my mini prints on, and it's really nice. I can take it apart, put it back together again, so they've been really cool. Fast delivery, stuff like that, so if you guys need to, like, display jewelry or books or prints, business cards, anything like that, they've got some cool display stuff, so check them out. If you guys need bulk stuff, and I mean mega bulk stuff, like bubble mailers, or tubes, or boxes, or you name it, these guys are like the heavy duty of everything you can possibly think of. Uline has really good prices for mega bulk. I can get 1,000 print cover bags for really, really cheap. I usually go for them for, like, mega bulk stuff. I usually get my bubble mailers through them, which is really, really cheap. They're phenomenal, and, like, I know everybody uses them. Uline's great. If you guys want smaller stuff, though, for your bags and whatever, I highly recommend Uline. I'm sorry, not Uline, Clear Bags. Clear Bags has really great photo art, boxing. They come in about 100 pieces per. They also have the nice little hanging ones, that I get for my charms, too. They have a lot of cool stuff. Specialty, they can print on some of it too, I think, to, like, put your branding on it if you would like. They've got a lot of cool stuff, but it's basically just bags. But it's something that you might need to look into for convention stuff, so there you go. And lastly, I forgot to put this one in here on accident, but the last one is Vistaprint. I usually go to Vistaprint just because they usually have a lot of, like, deals going on, and their printing isn't that bad. I'll do it for, like, my cheaper business cards, and, like, things that I need to get in bulk, or for, like, the backs for my charms. I'll do business cards and stuff from here, too. They also offer really good, decent quality, hanging banners and stuff like that. So, I mean, they do some really good stuff. They ship really fast, and they're pretty freaking cheap, too, with a ton of deals constantly going on. So I highly recommend them as well. Okay. That, guys, is literally all my places I go to for product. That is everything. That is everything. All of my websites that I go to for product, and also where I have looked into for selling my work. There it is. There you go. That is what is happening. Okay. Let's take a quick breather there. Oh, man. I have been yapping my jaw off and I hurt. Are you guys following along though? Like, are we doing okay? What kind of questions do we have so far? Because if not, I can get back into it. I just need like a quick breather. But that's basically all the websites that I use. That's everything. There's a lot, and that's why I made a whole document. I wasn't just gonna like throw all this at you guys and be like, oh man, there's a lot of links here. Like, I should probably make a whole document that has all those links, that has all that information. I know it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on, and like I said, it's not easy just getting started off. Oh, that's why there's an assortment of stuff. I highly recommend Zap Creatives for you then, Danny, for because they should be able to ship to you pretty easily. For a lot of the stuff that they offer, and it's pretty good quality stuff too. Yes, they do eco-friendly with clear bags, which is awesome. I know, right? I've been trying to find like eco-friendly stuff as well too, especially on plastic bags, because I feel bad using it, but I want to keep product like clean and safe. So that's been pretty cool. Okay. Let's see here. Decorus asked this earlier, and I guess I'll go back to it really. Actually, no, we're gonna do Q&A at the end. I'll wait. I'll still wait for that. So I just needed a quick breather there. I was just getting into that, for kind of promoting yourself. It's a little bit. It's about social media broadcasting. So let's go ahead and just get right into it, yeah? No, you cannot use a Square card reader for the PayPal Here app. You cannot. They will not work together. You have to use one for one or the other. I think one of them is backwards compatible, but it gets a little finicky, so you kind of just want to keep one per each. Don't try to mix them, because I think one or the other doesn't work with each other. But I haven't fully done all of that. Anyways, social media broadcasting. Unfortunately, everyone wants you everywhere. Give it time and be respectful. The places I've seen that work best for me personally, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Facebook. There are other places, but I mostly stick to these. Twitter works best for me, but for artists, I hear a lot of like great feedback about Instagram as well. Excuse me. Anywhere that basically you can kind of put yourself up and put hashtags in is a great idea. ArtStation is more for portfolio, I'd say, rather than like networking. This is more for like social media broadcasting, and I'd highly recommend using more of the social media stuff along with your ArtStation as like a portfolio and a landing space. But basically, anywhere that you can put hashtags into, people follow those. They follow their networks. They follow their community things, the things that they love. Even if it's from cats or, you know, League of Legends, Guild Wars 2, Digimon, I like books. Whatever it is, people have their specific hashtags that they follow through to, and you have to kind of read some of those and be part of the fandom. Follow along with it too. Oh yeah. I really love Elder Scrolls, so I want to look up Elder Scrolls stuff, and I just want to look into that today, and then find out what people are posting there. It's how people find one another. It's those communities that we get to look through and be able to search on these social media websites. So hashtags are really helpful on that. Really help broadcast you without being a jerk and like tweeting at everybody like, hi, you like Digimon? Here, let me show you my work. And it's like, dude, I did not ask for this. So, there is that. And, find places that people can follow you via those hashtags. Anything that people like, they search for under the tags and might find you. Twitch works a lot of the same way. Make sure you're filing yourself and your work properly so you can be seen. Like, it really does help the more I've been trying to do it. I forget to do hashtags on Twitter a lot. So, I mean, be careful about how you do that, but it's still, it's still helpful. It's very helpful. It helps people find one another and things that they're looking for. There are pockets of communities everywhere, and it takes time to be part of them. Remember, guys, though, and here's the big one, it's not just about you. Yes, I'm going to yell that one. It's not just about you. It is never just about you. These communities, social medias, networks are about each other, and we thrive in this because of budding friendships and open communities. Be kind and just aim to build up those friendships and acquaintances. Don't be in like, oh my god, I need to be super popular right now. Why am I not having 100,000 people follow me on fucking Twitter, and why don't people follow me on Twitch and shit like that? It's because you gotta build up the damn community. Don't pretend like you're the end-all be-all of shit, alright? If you are, I'm sorry, you're not deserving of it. You're really not. You need to be able to work together with everybody, because that's what we're doing. We're all freelance. We're all trying to, like, even a little bit to a lot. We need to build these communities together, and that's what we're doing. We're not just becoming streamers. We're not just trying to promote our work. We're building communities. We're building friendships. We're building networks that we all work together to help each other out, okay? We all have a common interest that we are building together, and that's what we're working towards. So that is how social media is going to work for you, and you need to use it to that way. Stick to consistency and stick to a schedule. Have a schedule. If you want to be known, have a schedule of where you're going to put stuff up. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday between 2 and 5 PST. That is basically what happens. Some days I'll do it often, but guess what? It's still there. It happens. You at least know when the majority of streams are going to happen. Okay? Have a schedule. Consistency. It really helps. And don't be a dick. That's very rude for me to say it. But yeah, don't be rude about it. Build your community. I would not be here if it weren't for you guys, because I built this community on what I wanted it to be, which is people who love League of Legends, who love art, and who love to have fun and be energizing and yordles and just fun in general and Final Fantasy and whatever else I'm into. You're all here and watching this because you guys are basically like my friends at this point. A lot of you have come to know as really great friends or people that I've known in the real world now. You don't have to be like super good friends with everybody. Some of you are just acquaintances, and you know what? I still care about you guys because this is the community that we've built, and this is why I'm able to thrive because of you guys. And I want to feed back into that just as much as you guys want to feed into me. That is how you network. That is how you use social media. That is how you broadcast. That is what works. Being a jerk and thinking that you just deserve stuff will not work for you. Okay? Also, images and timing help a lot. Even for regular posts, if you have an image, people are more likely to pay attention. I know this is annoying for some of you who are writers. I know it's a pain, but that's why GIFs are awesome. Or people who are just broadcasting and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna be playing like, I don't know, League today, but what do I put up there? And so people put like GIFs and stuff up there. Just put some kind of image to kind of get people to check it out. Images help a lot. Images help a lot. There's also a really, really cool chart that Mitsu gave me for timing. Like, I knew these just kind of based on a general basis, and this is based on your own time zones. But you guys actually can see this as well. You can see it better in the document that I linked. But timing is everything, and this has like a general time. So like Twitter's between 1 and 3, Facebook is 1 and 4. I'm gonna sneeze. Pardon me. Yeah, basically upload at a reasonable hour when people are kind of around, but that's the cool thing about the internet is people are kind of always around. But a majority of your stuff, depending on when you normally post, is again when this is going to happen. Thank you. So careful of your timing, careful about what your community is used to seeing with you posting stuff, and then images. Images will really help. Yeah, it does depend on your viewer base, and that's where this is kind of helpful, but it really is, again, schedules and consistency helps with this. If you're used to, like, if you work, you know, late hours, like from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m., and then you get home and you start streaming at 6 in the morning until you go to bed, your viewer base is going to be very different. Okay? It's still a starting point. At least it's an idea. Okay? So base it more off of your actual community, but at least this is an idea here to give you guys information, right? But that's going to help with broadcasting and being able to kind of get yourself out there. And again, if you have styles that you want people to know you for, tag under those styles. Like if you're looking for illustration work, if you're looking for animation work, tag under those. Tag what you're looking for, and people will end up finding you. It takes time, though. Like I said, it takes time, and you have to just keep with the schedule and consistency. Don't give up just because you don't make it right away, okay? Which leads me into my next point, and we're getting towards the end here. Finally, it's only taken me almost 2 hours to get into it. Haha! But here's the cool thing. Confidence! What do I do next, and how do I keep going? Confidence is hard! It's really hard! I know I act all crazy and fun and bubbly, but I have my own anxieties as well too, guys. I know, shocker. The best thing I can tell you is to keep moving. Focus on the keys I've listed above, namely being the following. Sort your business. Be prepared to handle the money side. Okay? That's okay. Afro art. I have this whole thing recorded, so you can still see all of it later, I promise. It's a-okay, and I have that document there, too, that you can follow along and see what you've missed. So, confidence, and keep moving forward. So if you keep moving forward and focus on the things that I've listed from everything else above. Sort your business, be prepared to handle the money side. Talk as best as you can. Even shy people can find a way around this. If you can't talk as easily, you can draw or express yourself and still be just as great. Find your comfort zones and work from there. It's tough. I know it is. But that's where people just keep saying one foot in front of the other. It's kind of what you have to do. If you're shy, if you're anxiety-ridden, you have to be able to just find your comfort zones and work around that. You're not comfortable showing your face very often? That's okay. You don't have to show your face on stream. You can work into it, see if it's something you want to do. You can do a lot of different stuff, even if you have disabilities. Or I put that in quotes by meaning for different types of disabilities, from actual physical disabilities to mental disabilities. Whatever that might be that hinders you, there are ways to work with it, and everybody can find different ways to do things, okay? So don't give up and think that you can't do it just because you're too shy or have too much anxiety to talk to people, so you're not going to make it as an artist. You can. You can. You just have to find a certain comfort zone for you and work around it to be able to function with it, okay? Build your community and fandoms together. Build friendships and networks. It's not just about you. Keep the schedules, have days off, stretch, and take care of yourself as much as you take care of your work. One I put in bold because it's very important. You guys need to eat. You need to be drinking water. You need to get up and stretch a little bit or try to exercise, get out of the house, get some fresh air. When you're cooped up working in the house all the time, it is mentally draining and it will mess with you after a while. And I can't stress that enough. If you guys haven't worked from home full-time before, or if you haven't done full-time freelance and you're used to being around people all the time, or you're not used to being around people all the time, you suddenly go outside and that anxiety gets tripled. You need to be able to take care of yourself, guys, and I can't stress that enough. You probably even need to have that before you even build your business. It's starting to take care of yourself. Go make sure you eat a little bit of food. Go have some water. Breathe, get outside, go on little walks for yourself, or get one of those stupid, wheelie bikes in the house. I was thinking about getting that on days it's too hot or too cold around here. Like, find ways to help take care of yourself, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Take daily vitamins if you can. Do what you can to take care of yourself because it will keep you mentally sane, which is just as important as working on your art, on whatever business that you're working on. Okay? Not every day is going to be amazing, and you're going to have hardships. Remember that list I showed you earlier where I bled $3,000 a month? Yeah, that was a hardship. You remember how I said about anxiety? And anxiety just sometimes will absolutely take me out for a day. There are days where anxiety will completely put me on my butt, and I can't even leave the house, and I have to try to force myself to get out of it. Not every day is going to be great, and that's okay. You don't have to push yourself into making sure it's an amazing day just so you can stream. Reflect as best as you can, but always, always, always keep moving. The friendships that you build from these communities will also be there for you when you're down, as long as you're there for them too. That's again why I say make sure it's not just about you guys, okay? It's about everybody. Work together and try your best, and everybody will help pick you up when you are falling down. You guys have done that for me so many times, and I can't say thank you enough for that. So keep that in mind. Every day is not going to be amazing, and that's okay. That's okay. It's alright to have bad days. It's alright to not be on top of it, alright? Do the best that you can. Keep walking forward. It will be okay. Alright? My last one in big, bold, and red. You can do it. Even if you fail, you learned. Failure does not mean you need to give up. Sometimes you have to fall down to learn how to fix the mistake, and sometimes you have to change paths entirely. It's alright. It's going to be okay. I have my animation degree, Bachelor of Fine Arts in Animation, and as soon as I got it, I realized I wasn't getting work where I needed to. I was not trained properly, I was not where I needed to be, and it hurt. But you know what? I kept going. I swapped gears into illustration, I figured out a different like of mine, I pushed forward, and here I am now. And I couldn't have done that had I not basically accepted my failure and moved forward. It happens, okay? I literally worked at GameStop for 4 years, which isn't a bad place entirely. I know I dog on it a lot, but it's not bad if you have to work at a place that you don't like to start. Start where you need to and slowly move forward. Take care of yourself where you need to and slowly move forward. Change gears as you need to. It's going to be okay as long as you keep moving forward. Just keep moving. Just keep swimming. Dory! Literally, if you fail, you learned. Learned from any time you fall. And you will always and consistently keep moving forward. That is the best way to do it. So it's okay. Don't freak out. It's gonna be alright. Alright. And the last part, we're on to the nitty-gritty, which I kind of touched on a little bit, but it's literally gonna be kind of I'm gonna repeat myself a little bit here, but bear with me, okay? Some of you aren't gonna like hearing this. Remember how I was showing you that money bleeds? You might have to find another job you don't like to keep yourself supported. Don't pretend and ignore if your business is failing, that it'll just work itself out. Pay attention to your income and expenses and take care of yourself. Get a part-time job if you need to, but continue working on your craft in the background. Keep this in mind and do not let it get you down. You can still work a part-time or even a full-time job as a freelance artist. I've done it. All of my friends out there have been doing it. Every artist that you've seen has definitely done it. It's not like we just magically like, oh yeah, I got my degree, now I'm working full-time as an artist. It doesn't happen always like that. It doesn't happen like that every single time. And the market is ridiculously hard. So you really need to just do what you need to. And sometimes that's not the answer that you want. Sometimes you just have to just, fine, you know what, screw it. I'm dropping everything right now and I need to go get a part-time job at a grocery store and God damn it, and you go grumble and you get pissed off or you get sad and you're sad pulling the carts in at the end of the day and bagging things and people are jerks. But you know what? You come home and you're back to your thing. You come back and you go, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work on the thing I love now. I'm going to totally work and push towards that and I'm going to make it happen. That is, that thing that you're working on, even if it is a hobby or you want it to make it your full-time job, is still, should be your happy place to come home to every day. And that's what you can still do. You can still stream and YouTube and Twitch and whatever you want to do in the background, even if you have to do the job. But if you have to quit your full-time freelance, whatever it is, if you have to quit, do it. Do it if you have to, just temporarily, just to get your feet back on the ground so you go get a full-time job. Go get that job, whatever you have to do to push to get that damn job. I know the market's flooded right now. I know it's hard to get a job, but if you have to, you have to do it. Don't shuffle your feet and wait for that, like, oh, well, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. I can't do this. And then you go out there and you're like, oh, shit, I have no money. Nobody's going to hire me, and I don't know what to do. If you're starting to fail, call it a failure and move on. You just have to do it, though. You have to be able to pick yourself back up, okay? So don't let it kill you. Don't let it destroy you, but do what you have to and push hard to make sure that you're still taking care of yourself. You still have, like, don't put yourself into debt, guys. Don't bank on credit cards and pulling yourself out of a hole either. Save if you can, and that's hard. It's hard in today's market. It's very hard for all of us to be able to do this right now. But as much as you can, especially freelancing, any of that extra cash, put it into, even if it's $1, I don't care. I have $10 that shuffles to my savings every month just so I can start saving it up in case I hit a snag. And boy, did that come in handy. Do as much as you can and just put a little bit in every single time, even just a little bit, so that you're taken care of. Keep taking care of yourself. Don't put yourself into debt. I can't tell you how much I've seen this failure happen. And it scares me for you guys because I know freelancing can be scary, and this is like literally the scariest part of it. Have a backup if you can. Work hard to make sure that you are prepared to take the next step, whatever that next step may be. And it may not be the answer that you want, but it's only temporary, so that you can work towards the next part of your life. Okay? And again, in big, bold letters, the last of it, don't give up. For all of this, I know it's so much information. How do I build my business and my portfolio? And I gotta do my business license and taxes. And oh man, my art is just not doing good enough. And I can't stream and people aren't coming to the stream. And I don't know what to do. And my numbers aren't good. And my social media is failing. Don't give up. Don't give up. Swap jobs if you have to. Try something new. But no matter what, just don't give up. If you failed being an artist and just need a break, fine. You didn't fail, you learned. Love your stream, but want to start games full-time instead while you try stuff out? Fine. It's okay to experiment, it's okay to fail. As long as you keep trying new things, eventually it'll work out. Take care of yourself, get income to pay the bills, and have fun with your life. Don't let it scare you out of your dreams. You can make it happen, I promise. Alright? Congratulations! There is my entire 2-hour guide to how to be a freelance artist and what I've learned over 4 years, and that's still just scratching the surface, guys. That is 11 pages of information right there. I hope that helps! If you guys have Q&A, please let me know. I will answer it the best I can. But that's it. That's everything there, guys. I know it was a lot. I know it's a lot of information, but that's why I have an entire document for you guys. Again, if you haven't seen it, it's under freelance here, freelance. And I'll pop it up over here too. But basically, guys, literally, there's an entire document here. I have my disclaimer, and it goes over the entire thing. The entire thing is all right here. Right here. So if you miss any of this, I know it was a lot of information. I probably skipped some stuff, but it's all right there, guys. Everything. Everything I just went over is there for you guys to help you get on your way to being freelance, whatever. It's mostly towards freelance art, but it's got everything. Taxes and business receipts, information, links, you name it, it's here. Okay? It's all there for you guys. So if you have any Q&A, please let me know. I'm going to start answering the ones that Mitsu popped up for me on Discord real quick. Urban says, would it also be wise to set up a business PayPal for your tips for your stream as well? Yes. As with a business PayPal, it also helps with covering your full name if you don't want your full name out there. It doesn't put your address or anything else in there either, or you can put it under a P.O. box.
Indeed.
Hey,
a wise
Squeaker,
choice.
thank you very much for the resub, babe. Sorry I haven't been able to talk to everybody through the stream as well. I was trying to, like, talk to a couple people really quickly, but I was trying to get through everything and keep to the lesson. But yes, business PayPal for tips for your stream is very helpful as well. It also helps save you in case somebody tries to charge back on you. So again, would recommend it. Neloku asked earlier, how do you do invoices? Invoices are pretty easily on PayPal. I'm going to see if I can show this to you guys without like accidentally showing anything I shouldn't on my account side. So give me 1 second here. Invoices are pretty simple though. Literally when you log into your PayPal. All right, well then I'm going to verbally go over with you guys, but there's also things up there on the internet. If you look for PayPal invoicing how to, there's information about it. It's literally on the top bar, you'll find one that says tools and you click on invoicing. And if you can't find it, it is in the invoicing part. And then literally there's a big blue button on the right corner that says create. So you hit create an invoice and then wowie, wow, looky that. Actually, I can't show this. It literally just shows right here. So here's literally a created invoice for me. Ta-da! I can fill out everything. I can fill out the invoice number, invoice date. I can put the person's address. And I can add a company logo if I want. I can save templates. This is my digital art template, which also has my terms of services in here. And also a note to the recipient. I can add tips. I can save all of this shit for invoicing. It's really awesome. And then I literally type in the information here. I put the amount that I'm charging. And there you go. I can also allow partial payment if it's a large one. I can have people split it into pieces. Invoicing on PayPal is pretty phenomenal. And like I said, it's right here. Tools in invoicing, or you can click on all tools and it'll be under there if you don't see it right away. Okay. So there is that. So go ahead and close on that. Ooh, I got a couple questions here. How do I keep my head up when it comes to making art when I have a part-time job that barely keeps me afloat financial-wise and robs me a lot of my energy and makes me stressed and sometimes unable to make art? Just because other companies don't want to hire me because I don't have any experience, aka no company on my resume. To keep your head up, I usually, like when I start to hit kind of burnouts and stuff like that, this also goes for burnouts as a freelance artist and stuff too. I try to take breaks on things if I need to and save my energy where I can. Music helps a lot there too. And the resume part, sometimes you just have to keep kind of pushing. And the experience, especially for art, is having that resume. If anybody wants specifically for companies that you've just worked for, yeah, that's kind of hard, but networking is going to help you further with that. If you really want to work for a company, you need to get networking with those people, go to conventions and stuff where they're going to be at, shake some hands and go, oh yeah, so I'm trying to have a portfolio prepared that I can, you know, submit to you guys. Could you help me take a look at it and see what I need to work on next? It's more about your actual experience as an artist compared to actually as, like, who you have on your resume, if that makes sense, and what companies have completely hired you. It helps, sure, but it's not the end all. And I know many people who have been, who have gotten into the industry without having the prior job. So it's not the end all. There are ways definitely around it, and don't think that it's not, you're not going to be able to make it because of that. But yes, you can definitely get through that. The energy part is literally trying to find where you can take a little breather, and again, taking care of yourself. I know the part-time jobs get really exhausting. Same with the burnouts and stuff like that too. Try just doodling stuff for yourself and take little breaks in between it. Yeah, I got distracted because I read Danny's thing. I guess I have to figure out where ZeniMax's own studios go to close to me. Or ask Jonah. Jonah would be good. Ask other artists too. See what their experiences are. Because I've not worked like officially with any companies except for like minor contract work. I've not actually worked at a studio before. But people still contract me because I have, luckily and thankfully, the networks and friendships that I have, which people have been super phenomenal. As I get better, they've helped direct me in my artwork and my style, making sure that I learn new stuff, in which later they go, hey, we might have this opportunity. Do you want to try it out? And I go, sure. And then I give my best and my all into these projects. And it's done some pretty good stuff for me here. Never looked at it and only looked at what was on my resume. Then that might not be a place that you want to entirely look to. I don't have a great answer for that, except for if they're not looking at your portfolio, they're only looking at your past experiences, then the position that you're trying to apply for might be a little too, you need to have like a beginner position that you can start off with. Yeah, Decorus, give me 1 second, okay? Sometimes they'll want you to have the experience as like an art director. They'll want other projects, and if they say, hey, we need you to have experience, go, okay, I don't have the experience at another job. Is there or how to word this? Is there something that I can do to Oh, I'm getting distracted by chat. I'm terribly sorry, guys. What kind of experiences would you like for me to have to be able to accomplish this?
Science.
And if they're asking you like, oh yeah, I need you to have 5 years of experience in the industry, then you might be applying for the wrong job. I seriously think that's probably more of what it is. You want to be able to focus on that more, personally. So that, like I said, that's kind of hard to answer because a lot of companies work differently, and I'm not going to be the end-all on that, so you might need to really, like, networking I still think is going to be the biggest thing on that. Finding those companies that you really want to work for, make sure you really want to work for them, not just because you want to be in the industry. Like, that's the other thing. You guys can't just aim to be like, oh, I want to be in the industry and I don't care, and you just apply for, like, 5 different things that you kind of are qualified for. You need to find... You need to find... the, like... Fudge, I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. I need to stop reading. Mitsu, can you keep collecting questions for me, please? Because I'm getting a lot of questions all at once, and I'm trying to help answer this really quickly. Up for anything in their company, include... Okay, you can't do that, though. You can't do that. You can't do that, Danny. That's the problem. So that's the hard part, where you cannot literally go in and be like... Sorry, I keep kicking my desk. You can't go in and just be like, I just want to work for you guys. I love your company. Why? What are you going to bring to the table that they really need? Okay? That's what they're looking for. And that's why they ask for experience. You can't just go in and be like, I'm going to apply for like 6 different things at Riot. They're not going to hire you for that. I can tell you that for sure. They're not going to be like, oh, why did they apply for like... both art direction and community and like to be a QA. Like, this just seems weird. They want to know that you are dedicated and you know what you are really working towards. That's what a company wants. They want to know that you have a direction, a vision, and to see what you're going to be working on next. That's the information that I've always been given back when applying to companies. And you can't just go up and be like, I just want to work for you guys. Like, give me anything. Give me anything just to prove myself. And they're not going to take you for that. If you can get internships, if you guys are still at school, I highly recommend that as well. Internships are really going to help you get your foot in the door. I'm applying more like, besides my art, I can also assist you on different subjects on the work, including client conversations. But that's still too much information. You need to be focused on one thing. Also, depending on the company, again, I would highly recommend talking to somebody there, being like, okay, you guys rejected me. Can I get information on why you rejected me? Could you please inform me of what steps I can take to get this position? I'm highly interested in this position. I feel like I'm qualified for it, and I would like to have the experience for it. So what can I do next? What can I do to help better myself for next time that I apply? You can ask questions like this. Sometimes companies will accept it, sometimes they won't. It really depends per company, but a lot of times they want to see that you have a vision, you have something that you're going to bring to the table that's above all. If they're not going to respond anymore, then you got to find a way in. That's literally it. If they're not it's just not enough experience and they're not going to give you a way in. Give them time. And maybe find like a networking that you can talk to really see behind the scenes. But other than that, you just might not be able to at that place. And that's the hard part, is being able to find client work and clientele work, or a company that you can work for, and being able to shake hands with somebody and give them the elevator speeches is given. That's a really huge thing to kind of go over. I'm going to end it there so that I can get to other questions. I hope that helped a little bit, but it's really hard to answer, and you're going to have to get a bunch of different information from a lot of different artists and people, or whatever it is that you're applying for, from different people who have applied at that, and network, shake hands, talk to people, and really find out what it is that they want. If they're not going to give you that information up front, then you have to find somebody else who's going to give that information for you, because without it, you don't know anything. So sorry, that was a really, really tough one to like take over right there. So let's see what else I can get to. So I answered the one about invoices. Not specifically for Rent, but in general, do you need a sales license for the state in order to do PayPal with invoice? Yes. Decorus, yes. You definitely need to have the business license no matter what, whatever state you're in, even if it is you're just doing through PayPal, because you are living in the state and doing your business from your home, which is in that state in which you need to apply for that city, state, whatever it is that they're under. So, yes. Okay. Which card reader is the best to get for PayPal? Just the PayPal reader. They don't have anything else. PayPal Square card reader. I use the PayPal one because I have PayPal. Square card reader is for Square. They're all per each, so you need to be able to get your specific ones, okay? Xerox. Speaking of overlays, where would be a good place to look for stuff like that when just starting out a full-time streaming or the like? There's a lot of free stuff that actually Streamlabs and stuff is working on. So you need to kind of look around and see if they have some free ones that you can use. A lot of places do have that. If you just search up like free overlays, or you ask a couple other artists and stuff like that, you can totally find out where you can get that. There's a lot of free stuff, promise. So it just takes a little bit of digging. But you can totally get like overlays and free buttons and things like that to decorate your down below your Twitch stream and stuff like that. And also the overlay and stuff very easily. Granted, it might be the same one that like 50 other people have, but at least it's something to start. And then, excuse me, you can commission stuff later. Hey, Angel, sorry, I'm doing Q&A for my live stream right now, so give me just a little bit. I can't just like openly talk right now. All right. Yoshi asked, can you talk a little bit about how much work you put into community management? Oh, Jesus. How did you get your community started, and what did you do to keep it together? No, it's okay, Angel. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. I was just giving you a heads up. God. Community management is very exhausting, and like another half of my stream that I have to do. I do it because I love you guys, but it is exhausting. Like, I keep my phone is literally tagged, all right? Every single tweet that goes through comes in through my phone. So, like, I have 13 messages on this damn thing right now. I have 13 emails to go through. Everything is tagged onto my phone. I cannot keep, like, it's hard to keep up with everything. Every single message, I try to at least heart it so that people know that I'm reading their information. I am constantly trying to talk on Discord, but that's been really tough for me, as you guys know, because I can't type and, like, draw at the same time. It takes a lot away from me. I'd say I probably put 5 to 6 hours a day minimum into community management, where I check messages and I make sure people are okay. I make sure I'm changing stuff up. I am updating. I am my own community manager. I'm updating people. I'm making sure emails are responded to so that people know if commissions are open or not. I'm being kind to people. I'm answering questions. That's why I did this instead, so I could answer everybody's question about the information about how to get started as a freelancer, because I was getting a lot of information based off of that. Community management does take a lot of time. It's a lot of different stuff. It's probably a whole job. It is a whole job on its own, but it's very important. And it's how I keep keep my community functioning, because I am a streamer. Like, I'm not just an artist, I'm a streamer, and my community is also what funds me. So that's why I kind of call myself between like an artist and also a community team lead of sorts, is because that's what I'm used to at this point. Like, it's my managerial skills, if that's a word. Did I say that right? Managerial. I was a manager for a long time, and that kind of like integrated into how I do stuff. So I like, it's a lot, and I can't dissuade that. Managerial is a word? Cool. I am the manager. It's why I pull mom, Yordle mom. But yeah, so it's tough. It takes a lot. And I run it across as much as I can to try to keep everybody happy and keep everybody talked to, but it's exhausting. Damn it. Hey, not H! Don't message me at the same time. See, I'm still paying attention at the same time. It's hard to do that. All right, keep going, keep going. We got more Q&A. So, Danny, how do I keep my head up? Oh, I answered that one. Where did the question for Decorus go? I need that one still. Tierney, hey Rin, how do you keep focus on working at home when there's so much distractions such as social media, video games, etc.? I keep trying to focus on my task, but I easily get distracted or I find other things to do. Focus on my work comes down to, if I'm really distracted, I'll have to turn everything off. If my phone's going too nuts or anything, I will actually filter stuff to turn my messages so that not all of them go off at the same time. Oh, you did, Mitsu? Okay, cool. Thank you. The one about the terms of services? Okay. Okay. I'm just making sure I still got everybody's questions in here. So the distractions, sometimes you just have to turn stuff off. And then usually what I'll do too is I'll find something that is, strangely enough, it's a distraction, but it keeps me focused, such as music. Turning music on in the background will keep me focused. And sometimes watching stuff that's kind of mindless in the background. Like, this is why I watch a lot of YouTubers right now. It keeps me calm and it keeps me working. And it's a background question. Hey, Colton. It's a background noise that I can follow along with, but I can keep drawing to. So the time passes and it keeps my attention enough, but not so much that it takes away from my work. Finding that for yourself is kind of hard to do. And like, it takes a while. It takes a while to find the thing that is going to work for you, and everybody functions differently, but that might work for you on that. But yeah, you really do just have to like start training yourself and finding things that will work for you. Like, okay, every hour since I get distracted, I'm gonna work for an hour. I'm gonna time myself and watch the clock, and then once I've worked for an hour, I can get up out of my seat, go stretch, go pee, read a book for 30 minutes, and then come back to it. Yeah, like, you have to find, like, a white noise or something that kind of keeps you distracted enough to keep, like, it distracts you to keep working on your art, if that makes sense, right? And that's something that really helps keep me moving forward, because it's hard for me to, otherwise, like, I can get distracted by 5 million things. I also have a set of things that I need to do in the morning. Like, I have to have my shower in the morning, or I have to at least wash myself up a little bit in the morning, or else I can't wake up and I won't stay focused. I have to get up and stretch, or else I start to hurt and I won't be able to continue for the rest of the day. There's a lot of different things that you have to kind of manage out through your day, but I'm sure you can find it. It's pretty good to figure out. So I believe in you. Don't give up on that one, okay? How long, Neloku, how long did it take for you to get your career started? 8 or 9 years total. After college, I did not make it for a while. I've been working on my art since I was a kid, but I didn't take it seriously until after high school. And even in college, I didn't understand what I needed to do. So after college, I graduated, said, crap, I'm doing all of this wrong. I rebooted everything. And then 4 or 5 years later, I started streaming full-time and went through all of my art, and I kept building on all that stuff that I went over with you guys today. And that's what built it into what I have now. So it took me a long time. It took me a really long time, and I'm not like an amazing streamer. I'm not perfect. I'm not, yeah, most like Twitch careers and stuff don't pick up for a couple years before people get viewers. It takes a while. And even then, you're not gonna like be bursting at the seams. Like, I've got followers, sure, but like the amount of people who actually come in and watch me, it's pretty low. I get anywhere between like 30 to max like 100 per stream, which is pretty small when you like look at other streamers. So it just depends. Just depends on what you're working on. My ass, do you happen to know the money volume? The money volume that is where a license is needed? I did like 100 one time, but to call that freelancing would be an overstatement. I don't know. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know how much you need. I think. Now, don't quote me on this, guys. I'm really don't know the full amount on this. But I believe in the US, you can file. It doesn't actually, because it's your state tax. I don't know when you'll need a license. It really varies by state. And for your end of the year taxes, for the country, you can make under, I think it's like $5,000. If you make like 5,000 or less, or 8,000 or less, something like that. I don't remember the exact amount, but it's a couple thousand. If you make less than that, then you can file differently where you don't pay any taxes. And I'm spacing the name on it right now, so I apologize. But I don't know the exact amount. It would be something to definitely call your local Department of Revenue, but something for like $100, I'm pretty sure you don't need to file for. I think PayPal doesn't give you a 1099 statement until you've hit a couple $1,000s as well too, because they're like, yeah, you make too little to be able to file your taxes at the end of the year. Or is it enter a contractor as a security? It might be 5,000, but still, I would highly recommend still documenting all of your stuff and saving it just in case. And see if you need to file or not. So it's something that I can't fully say, but it's a couple thousand, and I'm pretty sure there's ways to kind of fly under the radar with that. Well, fly under the radar meaning literally you don't have to file or pay taxes on that. So, all right, next, Neon. If I want to work as a character designer for games and movies and such, what kind of subject should I try to go to college for? Also, would it be smart to study animation too? That is the second thing I can do. Yes, study animation. Animation is actually very helpful. Very helpful to being able to draw illustration in general. I actually recommend it to anybody who's trying to do art, period, because animation pushes your idea and understanding of proportions and really makes you think in a 3D space. I also recommend for character designer, I'm probably not going to be the best information on this, so I'd recommend more for people who are actually trying to go into character designing. But there's a lot of things you can study with that. You'll definitely want to take the basic art, like for me it's usually called like drawing 1, 2, and 3, or you know, usually something basic like that, but it's figure drawing. You need figure drawing. Figure drawing, like study the shit out of figure drawing. Study so much figure drawing. It's crazy. You need to study a lot of figure drawing. You need to take a lot of drawing classes in general for both realism and like realism helps a lot for this because you're going to be studying proportions and studying a lot of cloth effects and how armor sits, and you're going to be looking into fabrication of clothing design, of character design. Animation again helps with this because you're looking at character design to a degree. Because there's silhouettes that you need to kind of think about of these characters, which I've discussed about before on the stream, where silhouettes, basically when it's like, who's that Pokemon? You try to guess what the Pokemon is just based on the black silhouette, and you can usually tell because that silhouette is usually pretty recognizable for a Pokemon that you know, right? Same thing applies to character creation. So there's things like that, but I think the biggest ones would be when you're going to school, ask your directors, your counselors and things like that, because you usually have one that you're placed under that helps guide you for the degree that you're going for. And you go, hey, I really want to do character design. What do I need for this? And they will tell you what classes, because each school calls them differently. But the figure drawing ones are like huge, and you want to study a lot of like I said, different clothing designs and different types of how like humans stand and body proportions. And I mean from like fat, skinny, disproportionate, you name it. Like there's a lot of things that you can study. You want to study metal and how to paint it. You want to study, you know, how gems look. You want to study like everything, because all that's going to go into your character designing, right? So there's a lot to it, but I would highly recommend that you can also look up stuff on the internet too. T-Biscuit, sorry about that. You made mention of disabled poor artists before. For an artist in a similar position, what would be best way to drive up audience network and support myself? I've struggled with it for a decade. I have some psychological issues that make my output poor. Okay. So what you need to start working on, T, for you, is, remember I was saying like finding where your comfort zones are? What is it that you're physically capable of doing when it comes to like, I need to be able to do social media today, but I'm too tired? When are you not tired? When is it that you feel able to do stuff? Are you able to do an hour's worth a day of just getting up and trying to stream, or getting up and doing some social media stuff? Can you do just an hour of that? Or do you need to only do 30 minutes of it? Do you need to do 20 minutes spaced out throughout the day? Do you need to do a max of 2 hours, but spaced out throughout the day? Find your comfort zones and what you are capable of, and then figuring out how to spread that out through the day. Give yourself a schedule of it. Find out what is going to work for you. And if it doesn't work, ditch it. Try a different approach. Find out what you're good at. And that can be hard sometimes, and it's going to take a lot of like stopping, going again. But you can do that. Okay. For audience and network, it's still... Wow, that's been very hard for me. Thank you, though. Yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. But that's, like, if you give me an example, I'll try to see if I can figure out one to kind of think of with you. But maybe it's like, if you can space it out throughout the day, that'd be cool. Or maybe if it is psychological, like you're having one of those days, that's fine. Call it quits for that day and try doing it the next day, even for just 20 minutes. See if you can start getting yourself into that schedule where, hey, you know what, I can do it for 20 minutes every day. Like I usually wake up from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. body and mind PST. Okay. Can you use that to your advantage? You know what? Fine. If your body's always going to wake up at that time, then check your social media and stuff during that time. And, you know, say hi to a couple people and check some of your emails and maybe get up for an hour and work for a little bit and then lay back down so that your body's tired and go back to sleep. Like, if your body's going to hinder you from doing anything, you might as well do something with it. See if that helps. And if it doesn't help calm you back down so you can get back to bed, then stop trying that. And do smaller things, do more simple things. Just try to, okay, you know what? So getting up and working for an hour is a really bad idea because I'm working and that's making me more exhausted. So let's go back into bed and just check messages and emails, say hi to a couple people on Twitter, put my phone back down, try to sleep for a little bit. And if you still can't, get up, educate yourself, try reading books for a little bit. You know, really help to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, things like that. But yeah, use it to your advantage if you have to. And see if that's going to help calm you down. Find a calming way so that you can still get yourself back to sleep and get yourself on a proper schedule. But if it's going to be that way, see if you can use it to your advantage. Because 2 to 8 p.m., you can actually have an audience at 2 and 8 p.m. PST when you're not on that time schedule. Because I used to stream really, really late at night and people would follow me for that. And I'd stopped doing that because it was too exhausting for me. But that's when people followed me. So you can make an audience around any time that you're up and any place. Too. Even if it's just from your bed, like you can't get out of bed and you're hurting too much, your phone's an awesome way to be able to do some stuff. You can set up a stream overlooking your shoulder, doodling in the bed. I mean, there's some crazy stuff that you guys can do, but it's totally possible. So work with your disabilities best that you can. And yeah, if you guys ever have questions about that, I'll definitely see if there's something else I can try to help brainstorm with you if I have the time to. Anyways, Puppetchu, how do you beat those initial nerves of wondering if people will actually like your art? Oh, fuck. Tell yourself to stuff it. Again, it's kind of where I use things of my own that get impatient with me. Like, by nature, I'm kind of stubborn, and that can hinder me, where I will get mad at myself to the point of being upset, and then to the point that that stubbornness turns back around and I go, you know what? I'm just so mad and so upset right now, I'm gonna post it anyway, because you know what, just fuck it. And then I'll be like crying and sobbing as I'm posting stuff on the internet, and then like I suddenly got over it. Like, sometimes using your disadvantages help to your advantage. It's bizarre, but it works. And, Decorus, yes, you can use my terms of service as a template. Try to change some things up, please, but you're more than welcome to use it as a template. So the initial nerves is kind of hard, but sometimes you just, that's where, I hate to quote Shia LaBeouf, but do it! Just do it! The nerves are scary, but honestly, what are people, like, you just give yourself, what your mind needs to make you feel better about it. Why are you nervous about posting on the internet? Why? Can you answer that question? Are you afraid people are going to be mad about it? Are you afraid it's not going to get the love that you feel it needs? Are you afraid that people are gonna yell at you about it? Why are you afraid that people are gonna yell at you about it? What's wrong with it? Are you afraid that you're not good enough? Are you afraid that people are gonna be rude about it and call you names? Is that something that you can handle with? Go through every possible thing in your mind that freaks you out about posting online and find out if it's really viable to be weirded out or scared by it. And if it is, find an answer to it. All right, so I'm afraid that people are gonna not like my work. Okay, well, what if somebody comes up to me and says they don't like my work? Then what? Well, they said it. For sure. Like, oh boy, they said the mean thing. Whatever shall I do? It's the internet, and oh boy, they said a mean thing. If they start doing, like, death threats to you, then that's when you, like, call them in. But other than that, it's like, insults? Cool, man. Ban them. You block them fuckers so fast, and they said the bad thing. They don't like your art. You can also tell them in a nice way. I appreciate your feedback. Thank you for your time. And you ignore them and keep moving. Dead silence when you post. Okay. So then you want to work on your community. All right. People didn't post anything on my post. Guess I got to keep working on my community. I got to make something better out of it. I will keep doing that. It gives you information. It allows you to continue and realize what, like, things, yeah, mean comments don't, get me so much as I'm afraid to let down the people who are so nice to me. And I bet you anything, if you go up to those people and you go, I'm really worried that, you know, you guys have been so nice to me and I'm really worried about it. People are gonna be like, oh my god, please post it anyway. Hey puppy, guess what? I want to see your stuff. Post it. Yep. You know I love you, girl. You know I love everything that you do, no matter what it is. You're talented, you're phenomenal, and even if it means you're gonna start from something, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love seeing you progress. I'm gonna love seeing you do better. So, do it to it, girl. If you're ever worried about anything, ask. And I'll tell you the truth. And the truth is, I want to see your stuff. Dead silence on pieces can often be wrong post times and anonymous spamming everywhere. That too. Dead silence, if that's the thing, it's literally just telling you you're posting at the wrong time, or maybe there is something with it. Put a post up, be like, hey guys, I didn't get any comments on this. Not that I'm can't completely fish for comments. So it's like, I'm just curious. Was there anything wrong with it, or people didn't like it, or what can I work on next that you guys would really like to see? Give information, feedback from it, and people will respond to that. And if they aren't, then it just means people aren't seeing your posts. So you gotta work on a new tactic to it, that's all. But you can't fish for comments. You can't make people comment. So it's something you kind of have to get past a little bit too. There was another thing. I gave up on art for a couple years due to fibromyalgia joint pain. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I want to do art again, but I don't know if I'll ever be capable of doing art as quickly as others, so it destroys my confidence. Boomer Fierce? Honey, don't worry about being fast, okay? That's something I'm having to learn here too, and something that unfortunately is being pushed on a lot of artists right now is to be faster, and you gotta make art in a day, and you gotta go super fast, or like lightning freaking, you have to make so much art and be super fast and be amazing and do this and do that and do it. Everybody's getting pushed too damn fast. You know how long Riot takes on those splash arts? They take 2 to 3 weeks, and they bounce it between other people. Okay, I went to the art labs to see actually how long they take on those splash arts, and I would be thinking like, man, they're gonna post and they're make them do it in 3 days. No, they take 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, sometimes 4 or more, depending on how many renditions it goes through. Do not worry about how fast you go. Do not worry about you need to be perfect and on top of it and make art in an hour. That's not how it needs to go. Not everybody's gonna be fast, and you don't have to be either. Take your time on it. Take as much time as you need. Take a year on the damn piece if you need to. Do what you need to. Okay? Don't worry about it, Boomer. Guys, unfortunately, I think that's where I'm gonna have to end it for Q&A. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've done a lot, but I really hope you guys liked Oh, stars! Yeah, girl. I feel you on the fibromyalgia. Like, my mom has it, and I've been trying to help her push through stuff, so I get it. I know people have disabilities and issues and medical problems, and there are ways around it, but don't ever feel like you have to force yourself to do anything or push through it and be super fast. Take your time. Do what you need to. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope I gave you guys as much information as possible. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to message me on Discord or Twitter. I will do my best to respond to everybody with questions. Those of you seeing this on YouTube or posted for later, same thing applies. If you guys ever have any questions, please tag me, let me know. I will do my best to answer stuff. My community will also help try to answer stuff. And like I said, I am not the end all of information here. I am not the only one who's going to be able to tell you stuff. So get information from everybody. Find out stuff all the time. Cocky! Hi, yeah, it was good to hear from you. I'll talk to you later, okay, babe? But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed this. And if you guys ever need anything or information, give me a ping and we'll do our best to help keep funding each other, okay? Gotta keep fueling each other, gotta keep moving up, okay? And yeah, we'll see you to it next time. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to y'all soon, okay? Have a good one. I'll try to do one more stream on Friday before I leave for Phoenix Comic Fest, and then after that, I'll be gone for a little bit, but I'll see if I can do like an IRL stream or something really quick from my phone just to say hi. But we'll see what's going on, okay? I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.